I caught a little part of it. I catch a little part when government business was trying to play Dr. Dawes' description of the health service in 2015. Now, Hugh Richards like to play like him smarter than nobody else. Right? Because he kept interrupting the broadcast so nobody could hear what Dr. Dawes was saying. So he keep talking over it and keep talking over it. And then now he's saying that Dr. Dawes was discussing the health service in 2009. No, Hugh Richards. And this is what I said to you all the while. If you don't believe that the PMP is so good, then what they need to have to come out and tell lie. Just speak the truth, no? If you true in your heart believes that the PMP is such a good organization, then why you have to tell lies in order to defend them? Dr. Dawes, out of frustration, came out in 2015 and speak of the sector as it was then. Dr. Dawes never get frustrated in 2015 about 2009. Nobody with an 8-year-old brain wouldn't buy that Hugh Richards. Right? And Hugh Richards, I used to tell you, say, you're one of the camera them when me used to have a little ratings for, but me not have none for you again. As far as me concerned, you, Cash and Draybray and Reedy are sailing at the same boat. The 300 no make one, 400 no make one. Right? Now, I should have that clip in somewhere on my phone. I am going to see if I can find it and play it. Because as I say, he was there trying to muddy the water. He was there trying to muddy up the water so the people couldn't hear the description that Dr. Dawes was giving to. Dr. Dawes said in 2015, they had to use rubbish bag. Garbage bag them used to use. Them couldn't get antibacterial soap. Them used to get one regular soap bar and they had to cut it in a 2. They had to cut it in 2. That was the state of the health system under PMP. And again, Hugh Richards and company, if you don't believe that the PMP is so good, why tell lie? When you just come out and speak of the goodness, don't you? Dr. Dawes made that speech in 2015 about the present health sector. He wasn't talking about none from 2009. And if that was the case, why didn't you allow the lady to play the thing? Right? And again, I said this to VG. I said it all the while, and I'm going to say it to you again. All right. Today Wednesday. Yes. Today Wednesday. You say you have politics night Thursday. So you have politics night Sunday. So you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have basically 4 days. 4 days you have. Today Thursday. Why may I miss it? So you have 3 days. 3 days you have to do some research. Sorry, I'm the 1 day back. All right. Today Thursday. So you have 3 days to do some research about the topics where you want to discuss on Sunday. Because the idea, my brethren, is that everything where you hear can make sense. And you as the host, you have to know when to tell people say you're chatting rubbish. Or the very least, ask where can I find that information? Let me look it up for myself. Because there's no way somebody could have come on my platform and tell me, say, the PMP in 1998 created the JUTC out of thin years and it's a brand new industry. There's no way somebody could have come on anybody platform and tell them that with sense and them get away with it. That is general knowledge that we had something that was called the JOS, the Jamaica Omnibus Service. Then we have one free-for-all system where anybody could have buy a bus and put it on the road. Then we have what they call the franchise bus service where they was split up in 4 major franchises and get that. And then the PMP went in now and take over the people in franchise. Some of them illegally and form the JUTC. And if you don't believe me, you look up one man named Ezra Millwood. You look up Ezra Millwood. Ezra Millwood fight the PMP government to him grave. Ezra Millwood fight them to him grave. Because he was also wronged when them farm J, then take over and franchise illegally. So when you allow somebody to come and tell them say that was created to that 10 year, that is foolishness. VG, me say, spend the next 3 days. Do some research. I assume the health sector will be a hot topic over there. Research on it. Find out what it was like. Find out, them always come and tell you, say them build new hospital in the 18 years. Find out which new hospital them build for me, please. And remember, there's a difference between a hospital and a health center or a clinic. Please note there's a difference between the two. So find out, do some research, VG, before Sunday come. Find out which hospital them build. Find out how much school government build during that time. Government me attacking. Because you have a couple of schools that was constructed, but they were built by churches. Find out how much school government build. Them something that simple thing. You don't have to take now. The information is available. Right? And that is why every time them come in on my chat, they come and then type us after sitting down there. And I always invite them up, say, come, make we talk. Well, everybody but you, Richard. I may have my wife when I not invite them. I used to invite them up in my box. All when my fellow labor right, them used to cuss me and say, you can't have comrade over here. I say, no, you different. You are my virgin. Me and you can't talk. But me not invite him in my box anymore. Me not invite him in the box anymore. Right? But these are the things when I implore VG. VG, just look up them here before Sunday. Right? Now, and the other idiot from Canada now. The other idiot from Canada. I was listening to part of him today. And luckily, somebody sent me a screenshot because I was trying to remember what they were discussing. Oh, yes. Yes. As according to them, the level of discussion they were having over there was that back in the 80s, people could go to the bank with a plan and get a loan. Gentle people, today, dear, you can still walk into the bank with a business plan and get a loan. Today, in 2024, you can walk into any institution and you have a properly constructed business plan and you get a loan. These things that they are trying to find something that sticks to say a hit cause FinSac is not the only thing that cause FinSac. Is the bad policies of the government. The bad policies of the government, the failure to intervene, the failure to take steps to protect Jamaicans. When you saw what the policies were doing, they did not take any step to protect Jamaicans when they saw what their policies was doing. So it doesn't matter how much things you try to pass it on. The fact is, the very, very bad policies and mismanagement of the financial sector of the country's affairs is what led to FinSac, is what led to the collapse. There's an argument, and when me tell you the level of stupidity that these people have, is that they were given unsecured loan and then couldn't pay it back. Again. And this is why I say people with a 80-year-old brain could have figured this out. If these people are given unsecured loans, how did they lose their properties? Answer that one there for me, Reedy. Reedy, you say you're smart and you think and you do research. If the people are given unsecured loan, hold on, sorry, let me. I am of the opinion that none of you know what the term unsecured mean. An unsecured loan is when you have to give no collaterals in order to obtain it. There's nothing to guarantee the loan. That is called unsecured. You have nothing to securitize the loan. So if these persons were given unsecured loans, how is it that they end up losing their properties? A man will sit down every day on social media will say, I teach. I give advice. Who the fuck can you give advice to when you dumb as shit? If the loans were unsecured, how did the persons lose their properties? Try and answer that the next time you have your one set of monkey around there with you. Me tell you, you know, say you had one smart person on your panel where you support with you, you know. And the moment I can realize, say, you sell out, I can jaw himself. The moment him realize, he enjoy himself. The moment Akan realize enjoy himself, because Akan is not about where you are about. Akan now sell out in country for $100. Right? But what me I encourage you to do is we just raise the level of the discussion. If you now go try learn about what happened during FinSac, learn the facts. Don't try to pawn it off in order to obscure the blame from the persons that should be shouldering the blame for what they did. As according to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, they benefited to the tunes of billions. Then Ibi. Well, I should have pinned your first comment, but I go pin that one. Yeah. Not because I not respond to you, means that I not read, you know. Ibi, let me ask you this. I call an unsecured loan. An unsecured loan no means saying you have to show so you can pay it back, but the whole so fool, sir. Showing proof that you can pay back a loan is different from collaterals. Showing proof that you're unable to pay a loan. I can go for a loan. I can bring me pay slip. Can go for a loan. I can bring me pay slip. Can go for a loan. I can bring me pay slip. It's not collateral, Regine. That's what me I telling you to do. Just learn something before you come on social media and talk. If the persons were taking unsecured loan, how did they lose their property? How did they lose their property? Is the simple question. Ibi, since you're there, you said you can answer that one there for me. If the loans were unsecured, how did they lose property? Said you can answer that one there. Right? Thank you, sir. Thank you, DJ Potter. Let me pin this so Ibi can read it. Ibi, read that one there for me. Proof of income is different from collaterals. Okay? Proof that you can pay it back is different. Right? But these are the things that they are trying to spread around to make people believe, say, oh, it wasn't the PMP fault. Yes, it was the fault of the People's National Party. They ran this country under the ground when the rest of the world was flourishing. Only remember, that in the 90s, under President Bill Clinton, America ran no deficit. America took down the debt clock, which means that America was prospering, money like dirt. Let me tell you who don't know that. Hugh Richards don't know that. Reedy don't know that. Caution don't know that. And apparently Ibi in the chat don't know that. They don't know that no collateral is needed for unsecured loan. Right? But during the 90s, for those of you who know or did not pay attention, America did not run a deficit at the time. America, what they call, took down the debt clock. The country was doing so well. Their budget was balanced and they had no deficit. They never owe nobody. And as we all know, anything America have, we catch. Except the prosperity of the 90s. Except the prosperity of the 90s. Because we had an incompetent government. An incompetent finance minister and an incompetent advisor. That's what we had at the time. So while everywhere else in the world was flourishing, Jamaica crashed. Right? Jamaica crashed because at the time we put incompetent people at our wheel. Now the Prime Minister made a speech yesterday where he speaks about the country being managed by steady hands for the last 8 years. I would love to know, yes, pre and post Finsack. I would love to know that Dark Knight. I would love to know Omar Davis network, pre and post Finsack. I would love to know Mark Goldie's network, pre and post Finsack. Because when these people speak,
work to be done on the Jamaican economy.
Listen to me, PM.
And as I stand here, having given, 27 years of my life to the country and under very difficult circumstances, almost 9 years of keeping my hands on the wheels and keeping the country stable and balanced and making sure that Jamaica is a place that is showing promise and progress, and there is prosperity.
Great job, sir.
I am very much afraid of thinking about what could happen.
No, we are still steady. Still steady.
If, for any reason, stable hands were to come off the wheel.
No, we are still steady.
To put novice hands on the wheel. I shudder to think, and therefore my commitment to continue to see this through to its.
What the PM say? We cannot put novice hands on the wheel.
Proper conclusion. I am determined to ensure that we don't fall into the rut as we fell in when the country was destroyed in the 70s, rebuilt in the 80s, and then for 18 and a half years we fell into a lull.
Dark times.
Not going to make that happen.
Not going back. Dr. Clovis Nelson.
No. of GDP. It was during that time that public sector bodies were so poorly managed that they created a fiscal risk for the government and created further debt for the government. It was during that time that murders passed 1,000 in this country.
Remind them, my Prime Minister, remind them.
You talk about bad roads and lack of, it was during that time when there was no budget, when the country wasn't growing, that there was disinvestment in the infrastructure of the country. As I said, some of you weren't born then.
Grandmother, tell me no.
So when we talk, Bernard, we have to bring the facts to the table. Because people are only seeing what is in front of them. They don't have the full understanding and the full context. When I said that they benefited, they became millionaires.
Billionaires.
On the backs of the people. When they carried an economic policy called the high interest rate policy, which helped to drive up the debt. Where one of their own MPs described it in a way.
When say?
You know it, my friend. So there are some youngsters here who have studied
The
history.
them a listen to Chuck Finley.
He's an honest man, a man of the cloth.
Because them a listen to Chuck Finley, so them know that it was described by Ronnie Tweet as what me PM tell them.
When he spoke about the high interest rate policy, that some of them who want to lead the country today, they benefited from it. And their own person, their own member of parliament at the time described it as the greatest transfer of wealth
From the poor to the rich since the abolition of slavery.
And I have no doubt that that is what they want to come back to do to the Jamaican economy.
Now where they at? Me PM a listen to me, man. Me I go add political advisor to me resume now. That is exactly what they want to come back and do. They created the vehicle again to do it, you know. Back in the 90s, they created DB&G to siphon off public funds. This time, them have proven waiting to move the country's assets again.
I have no doubt that that is what they want to do, to come and get wealthy on the backs of the poor. I will not allow that to happen.
One shower boss.
And I hope that my voice is carrying. To the halls around here, so that those youngsters who don't know their history, who are brainwashed and misled, can understand that the real power is right here in this room with the young people who have the knowledge and the understanding.
That was the Prime Minister speaking last night. Right? That was the Prime Minister. We've said it here before, that Ronnie Tweets said that the FinSac era saw the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. And remember, remember the PMP love to tell you know that them care for poor, them are poor people government. When we get to the top of the 90s and the then Prime Minister PJ Patterson look back His words is that we created a brand new set of poor. His words, not mine. Another member of that cabinet said that they all should be investigated for insider trading. Because that's what they did. God, in his wisdom, in 2018, gave us Nigel Clark. See him there on the screen. We'll say goodbye to him next week. God, in his infinite wisdom, gave us Nigel, who along with Andrew Holness, with the contributions from Ardley Shaw and the entire team, has managed to keep steady hands on the wheels up until now. And here's something I want to consider. Based on the Jamaica that we know before, in the last 8 years, the Jamaica Labour Party faced two honest scandals, two scandals that we can attribute to them. One of them is before the court. One of them was investigated, and the person's name that was called was cleared of any wrongdoing. Yes. Royal Reid matter is before the court, and it is being allowed to go through. And Dr. Wheatley, despite everything them tried to throw on him, it was fully investigated, and he was cleared of any wrongdoing. But apart from some false alarm, in an effort to chew up crowd, to give the PMP a talking point, tell me which government has ever gone for this long without any scandal popping up, without any misuse of public funds. On Cornwall Regional. But the minister already break down that in Parliament and tell us that we don't have an overrun. We have a rescoping of the work. We are doing a bigger project than we thought we would, so that cannot count. Tell me when last the country has gone this long without any political scandal running up, without overrun, without ministers resigning and all of that. Steady hands are at the wheels. And people are now putting value and managing public funds. Gone are the days when you could back up one van down a bank of Jamaica, open the vault, and fill your car trunk with taxpayers' money, and then drive out, say, I go look for an exchange for buy. Gone are those days. Now, public funds are being managed and spent in a way that even the PMP shock. Even the PMP supporters shock. Because they have never seen this level of management of the public purse before. That is why they are unable to step up to the plate and challenge this government and its performance. So them resort to character assassination. Unprecedented value for tax. Thank you, Gustav. See him so. Unprecedented value for your tax dollars. You can see it as spend. You can see your tax dollars as spend. Right? You can literally
You sent me a request. Yeah, what's up?
I'm just keeping y'all. Keep the conversation going. I'm taking a very important call in a minute.
Oh, sure. Oh, you know, I didn't have the earpiece in my ear.
I can see a tax dollars are spent, people.
Yes. You can see it spend before your eyes. And that is what they are unable to contest, so they resort to lies and character assassination. Right? But tell them to come and challenge us on policies.
Send a request, Gusto.
Right? Tell them to come up and challenge us on policies and see what
Chuck, my background nice, you know.
Yeah.
You know, say my time now for travel. So.
I hear you clearly.
Well, Chuck, we have one big bill for paying, Chuck.
A big bill?
Yeah. And do not go up here about $470 million, man. You come with them do it one contract in 1999, but in 2024 you have to go pay you over. You have to go pay over $470 million. Plus interest. I have to cover legal fee. Christopher, mute your mic.
Yeah, check.
You can say that.
Come on, we have to cover some.
You can say that.
Somebody, this is Timur from Canada.
Hello. Hello, doctor. You hear your snack this morning before eating?
And then cost to one big bill, brother. We have to pay one big bill. You can come with them and we pay one big bill in 2024 all the way from 1999. I will pay one money we never take. Just because of them and their mismanagement.
That's fair.
All right. Look for your phone.
I.
Anybody will call you right now. And the first person to call you right now.
And when we got to pay PNP bill.
Children in the background.
Every time we have to pay a PNP bill, every single time, $473 million because they breach a $40 million contract. The government of Jamaica still have to pay for Goodyear, where the Prime Minister say them supposed to build BPO over there in St. Thomas. We always have to pay PNP bill them. Always. We have to pay a wage bill. We have to pay road bill. We have to pay infrastructure bill. We always have to pay PNP. I don't know how PNP say they are the shit. I really the shit. A load of dog doodoo. Load of dog mess, if you ask me. There's nothing that went right on the PNP. Nothing. Things at debt, the government still have to pay it. The same thing happened, street light bill, and the same thing happened with the taxi man them, the motorists them, or them breach people them constitutional rights and something, right? That the bill they have to pay. Like every corner we take a Jamaica, we have to pay PNP bill. Come on, man. Tell we how efficient you guys were. Uno come here every day, come preach, say, uno efficient, but we don't see it. Uno effective, we don't see it. Uno say uno a good leader, we still not see it. Where, when, how, when we have to pay debts upon debts upon debts. No garbage truck, no fire truck, no ambulance, no police car, no ammunition or armory, whatever they want to call it, right? Nothing, high debts, wanna rack up the debts, go do no own a thing, go have youthful exuberance, and then on say on a good stewards. When, where, and how? Tell me how we still have to pay a JPS bill because you say all right monopoly. So tell me how and when the people of Jamaica have benefited because of any policy from the PNP. Show us. I would like to know.
The People's National Party under Omar Davis with the advisor Mark Golding change our financial system laws to allow a foreign company to come in and rob Jamaicans. Yeah? They changed the law. They went to, and this is part of my disgust with the media system in Jamaica, because all of this was allowed to happen. And the media did not try anything to inform the people of what was happening. Yeah?
Let me tell you something, Chuck. Anyhow, it wasn't this information era that we're in and access to the internet. Andrew Holness would have to call an election long time, just like what they did with Bruce Golding.
Yes.
Hear me say? The media up until now, when the report was supposed to be tabled in Parliament, Gleaner run out about 20 headlines, right? In a less than 10 minutes. And up until today, media and the Gleaner no come correct it and say, okay, this is what the investigator said, the director of investigation said, but this is the actual truth. Nothing like that. Up until now, they have not corrected one thing that they have posted that have led to any misinformation that is circulating in the public. Anyhow, it wasn't that an election would have to be called. Anyhow, we never say, all right, make we get it and read it for ourselves. It wouldn't be the same thing.
It
I'm
would
to Bruce
not be the
Golding.
same. Right? It would not be the same. Right? But, Bumper, as me say, for people like you, if you're ready, it's your God-given right to vote for who you want, you know. Right? It's your God-given right to vote for anybody.
It's not your God-given right. It is not a God-given right. It's a constitutional.
It's your constitutional right to vote for anybody you want. Right? I not tell you. But you must know what you're voting for. I know what I vote for. I know what I will be voting for.
Lashika, my love. Chuck, my love. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Angel.
Shower labor right.
Angel Boo Boo.
I just have one question, and maybe Chuck can help me. You know, I'm the one that asks these questions. When I know something, Lashika, I'm going to fight for it. When I know something is good for me, when I can look back and say, this is what you have done for me, I'm going to fight for you. I want to ask one question. Can somebody please outline the goodness, the great things that the People's National Party has done for this country? Why these people are fighting for this party to be back in power? I know it's 18 years, a long time ago. But think about it this way. If it's 18 years that you are in power, you should be able to show me significant achievements, significant things that you have done. As a parent, you have a child till he's 18, 21. You birth it, you have to conceive it, have it, raise it, send it to school, college, and then maybe it move out. I want you to tell me from the PNP birth 18 years ago in a power till now when they lost it a couple years ago. Please tell me what is it that these people are fighting for, Chuck. I need you to explain that because I don't know and I'm young into this. So can you please tell me?
Here's what I'm going to do for you, Angel. There is somebody in the comment named Bonati. Bonati say, appear done sell labor right and a PMP all the way. So I'm going to give Bonati. Bonati, May have 3 empty bags. Send a request, I'm going to take up one of the bags, please. And
Maybe he can.
educate
Yes.
us.
I'd love
Yes,
And I
me,
will,
I need it.
Eh?
And I will answer Angel's question.
Yeah, man, in the meantime.
Okay.
But
In the
Bonaki,
meantime,
send a request
Angel.
and come up and educate us done. Please, we are give that opportunity.
Yes, Mrs.
Angel, to answer your question, you see, the PNP, the people that support the PNP, they don't know why they support the PNP. Oh, Mama did support Manly. PNP did give me $10,000. PNP did help me pay my school fee. PNP did give me one door, or a PNP did so if we get the land, but we never get it. It is something they have benefited either directly or indirectly. I know the community benefiting, I know the country benefiting, it is personal. You hear me say? If you listen to maybe 99% of them say, this is what PNP did for me. This is what PNP did for me, not for the country, not for the community. I remember somebody came up on a live one day, you see, and the person say, a man used to get money, one man in the community used to get money for patch the road or something like that, right? And he kept the money for himself, and everybody had to go to him. The road in the community no patch, and no fix. But when them want nothing to eat, when them want $1,000, they could go to him, and the road in the community still was not patched. But guess what? His house was big, right? Theme house well painted, well grilled up, and him a live good because of one man a benefit. This is how it goes. When you ask them, this is it. Dushan say it all the time. When him ask him cousin them who down a Westmoreland, who poverty a kill them, why you not support PNP? What them say, mama and papa. And Dushan say him born 1989 and him not come see him in papa. Right? So these are the things, and nothing more. When you look on the post yesterday with Andrew, when the lady has said, because of government policy, she was able to get a house. Right? Not because of Andrew Holness, not because, yes, of the Jamaica Labour Party, but not because of Andrew Holness. It was a policy that can benefit 10,000 more people, or 100,000 more, or 1 million more persons. Get what I say? So it is personal. It is nothing more than personal benefits. And that's how I see all the time.
Sashika, pretty much what you just explained to me is. Partner, I'm sorry, my partner turned on the radio. Okay, so what you just explained. So I'm sorry, what you just explained to me is that the PNP are selfish. They're all about self-gain and not about a country. That's the first thing I've gotten from what you said to me. But second thing I've gotten from what you said to me is, you can't really show me or outline to me anything that they have done significantly for the country over these 18 years. But can you point out at least, I don't want a whole lot. All I want is 5 major things that is making the country better off right now, and is that this administration has done in 6 or 8 years. Since as you can't point out anything for me for the 18 years, contrast and show me the difference between then and now. Maybe I would understand.
Well,
I mean, you want to answer that?
Go on, Shika.
All right, the first one are the social housing, right? Them used to give people some little board up shack that now work again. Proper structures now. The next thing is free healthcare. Whether them like it or not, or what them want call it, or whether them want say it in a shambles, are still free healthcare. A lot of people don't have that privilege.
But
Angel, you work.
It's not in shambles.
No, that I'm saying they are saying that. I never said that. Please listen to what I'm saying carefully.
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
it's still not perfect. If we are going to be if we're going to be honest, it is not perfect, it is not where we want it to be, but it is better than where we're coming from under freedom government. The next one is
trust me, it is way, way better, exceptionally better, well.
The next one is the pension.
And I don't use the public health sector. Go ahead.
The next one is the pension for the old people. Them know how much people used to them on poverty, social pension used to them on poverty. The next one is the reform for where they might take the homeless people them off of the road. A few weeks or a few days ago, we were looking at an article where one of the person, them 17 homeless people, one of them is going to become a lawyer. So there are changes that are happening. Maybe people don't pay a lot of attention to them, which they should, right? But there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in Jamaica.
I would like to add some stuff as well. Yeah, so other than my pay being increased, I love that my pay has been increased, but I love the whole development of my country. I love when other people are benefits on a wide scale. I love the development of my country, and I love when people are get help, right? I love that the over 3,800 people who were once temporary and work for the National Solid Waste Agency, from the street sweeper, the garbage truck collector, whatever they call them. They are now permanently employed and they'll be getting a pension. I love that they created a pension scheme for tourism workers. I love that they now have insurance for farmers, right? There are so much. I love that, me say, St. Thomas, that was once a forgotten parish, getting a highway and a urban center. I mean, the employment, a lot of employment.
Yeah, I did want to say that to Philippians. Philippians, anybody.
I love that that the Portland is also going to get an urban center. I love that they're going to create a new pathway for persons to go in the yard without paying a toll to go in a Portmore, right? People don't know these things, right?
And I want to add to this, Philippians.
There will also be an urban center in Portmore. People don't know these things.
And there one in Hanover too.
The government is doing so many things. And these are
I want to add Philippians.
The other side wasn't doing. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to add this. Say, you see, anybody will allow you to provide for yourself, you have to rate them people there, and that is that is most important for me. The government make sure say you can go earn your own bread. The economy, a lot of people take it lightly. A lot of people think say, oh, this is just regular thing. This is not normal to Jamaica. Learn that.
As the PM say, yes,
so
economy can yam.
And the economy can yam, the road can yam, the road make you yam, because that's why you have to take the road to go work to get the money to put the food on your table. The road will make you yam. Yeah? That's how you have to look at it. You can't.
Now don't you mention the development of St. Thomas?
Yeah, I did mention it. I love to see the development we are going.
And don't you mention the development of St. James?
Yes, man, St. James being so many.
And don't you mention the development of the Spanish Town Hospital?
Okay, we don't mention the rebuilding of the Spanish Town Hospital, the rebuilding of the university.
And don't you mention the Cornwall Regional Hospital that is going to be one of the best in the Caribbean.
Okay, yeah.
If you don't want me go on, me can have the whole day can go on and on and on, you know.
There are so many.
We have the whole day can go on and on of the development.
We had.
Hold on now, let me see. Philippians, hold on. See, your mic sound kind of muzzle, and your connection kind of weak. So I think you're getting a delay, so you keep talking when somebody else is talking. Anthony Mignat, yes man, we touch all of those. Right? We touch all of them local topic there. Right? But if we have to sit here and discuss every single thing that this government is doing, it is a monumental task that this government has taken on when they come to developing this country. As the Prime Minister said, community by community, parish by parish, we're going to get the country where we want to go. Chaps Media.
Hello.
Yes, Papa.
Right.
Give thanks to the ones and the sisters and brethren. It's always good and pleasant for laborites and laborites to dwell together in unity, celebrating prosperity. You know?
Yes, sir.
I think some like the topic we now discuss is Jamaica's growth and development, which is a discussion that always are going to be had in a vacuum with just laborite alone, because PNP don't have an interest where that is concerned. Because you see, is the PNP that we all heard within the last few days, or probably a week or so ago. They're on this campaign to separate themselves from their past. And it is something that publicly apologize to the Jamaican people for the pain and suffering that they caused us during the 1990s. They will never be forgiven. And as the Prime Minister said, we should echo it every time we get a chance. People like Mark Golden, Peter Bunting, and the PNP members who participated in the heist and the Jamaican taxpayers back in the 1990s should never be eligible to even run for office, let alone be voted into office. People like Mark, Jefferson Golden, Peter Bunting, and others who were themselves, who stated that they were the architect and they were conducting what they dubbed to be political financial engineering during the 1990s. And for the young Jamaicans who don't know what the financial engineering was, Mark Golden and Bunting and them were the persons who advised Dr. Omar Davis on some of the policy as a salute 40,000 jobs. So when you hear PNP come out here to talk about the economy, that's why when we have these conversations, you won't get a comrade come in the box here to talk. Because they cannot defend their own track record. They cannot defend their own track record at no point in them running this country, let alone have a decent conversation. So we have to remind people where this country come from. It took a lot of work to get us here. Between 2007 when Bruce Golding came in, they put together a team. It was the first time I've ever seen a team of more than one person representing the finance ministry. At that point, they had Dan Webby, they had Dwight Nelson, and they had the minister, Audley Shaw. And I would never have this conversation without reminding Jamaicans that it was that team of geniuses who saw it fit to put the fiscal rules in place that pretty much guard and protect Jamaica from the hands of the wicked PNP. The wicked and uncaring PNP. Because if it is that the PNP were allowed to run with it the way they ran with it back in the days, Jamaica would be right back to where they were in the 1970s, and we would get another dose of the 1990s. So it's the fiscal rules that kept us in check and kept the PNP in check during the period from 2012 to 2016. That is a savior. That one policy that the JLP put in to guard Jamaica and to protect Jamaica is responsible for where we are today. We must give credit and pay homage to Dwight Nelson. He's not here with us anymore. But Audley Shaw is still here, Dan Webby is still here. And I'm quite certain there are other members of the team who participated in that. So I pay homage to them. So if you're talking about a landmark policy, that would be it.
Chaps, it was also the first time that we saw when the government would have seek the assistance of someone from the business community to guide policy to help the country rather than seek somebody who will only dare to help themselves. If you remember at the time, one of the controversy they had, the PNP was that who are going to pay Dan Webby?
Yes.
Who are going to pay Dan Webby?
Yes. But Dan Webby was seconded from Grace Kennedy.
From Grace Kennedy.
Yeah, and he's still here. And we have to really and truly honor those men, people like him. We have to honor him because he really stood by us at a time when Jamaica was going through a rough period. We were looked upon as the sick child of the Caribbean.
Yes.
The PNP were the same ones who referred to us when they taught them, said, look at Barbados, look at Trinidad. Why we can't this, why we can't? Well, sorry to say, look at Trinidad now, look at Barbados now, and look at Jamaica.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
I ask this question because I want to make sure of what's going on. I'm comparing administration now, the JLP administration now, comparing to Portia Simpson and PJ Patterson administration. In the House, how many representatives the House have under PJ Patterson time? Approximately how many people in portfolio, like minister?
You mean the size of the cabinet or the size of
the size of the cabinet? The size of the cabinet. There's something I'm trying to get to. But
the size of the cabinet was much bigger. It was a much bigger cabinet than the size.
Portia must have about 34 members.
Not only that, they have every ministry had a junior minister. We don't.
Yeah.
And it was a much larger cabinet on the face of it too.
All right, chaps. The reason why I ask you this, yeah, I come from I'm in the transport system over here, yeah, understand? And recently my company, a new company take over, and them start to chop the from in the upper office, yeah. So all the managers then chopping them down to one managers per department, yeah. The reason why me ask this, one of the reasons why the country wasn't gaining any farmer growth or anything in Jamaica during PJ Patterson time and Portia time is because the cabinet was too heavy. And there's too much people were living off of the government and so many handouts and also what you call it now, backdoor deals. So you get you like a piece of road if you build, 10 man get the contract when it's supposed to be 1 man get the contract. And that is what I noticed under PJ Patterson time when I was in Jamaica and Portia Simpson time. And that's why you see all these problems now, what the government is reaping is coming from that time, because all these people who used to live off of the government then cannot get that opportunity to do it now, and that's why we're having problems now.
You see, Kevin, you mentioned something there, so when you say too much people living off the government, and you're 100% correct. The government at the time, rather than teaching the masses how to earn them own bread, like it's being done now, rather than giving people the opportunity to feed them family, the government at the time took on that responsibility. Say, just come down to the parish council and we give you a brown envelope.
Yes.
Right.
Without showing any farmer.
Yes. That is one reason. May I get a chance?
If you're trying to look at the difference between the two political parties, and why is it that the JLP has always been successful at growing the economy and making Jamaica better? It is as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's very easy. Policy, good governance matters.
We don't do it anymore.
You see, if you go back to, I always have to be guided by history, guys. I always have to be guided by history, because the PNP have a history of creating initiatives and policies that is geared towards handout, delivering programs to people without finding a source for funding. What the PNP What is your aim for the crowd is to prominent things. Oh, we're gonna give you this and we're gonna give you that and we're gonna raise your P and we're gonna double your P and we're gonna this and we're gonna that. And they would make these promises, and this started from Michael Manley days, where he went out and promised free education to the tertiary level, promised all kind of social programs that would have cost billions of Jamaican dollars. And he did so not knowing where the money is coming from to finance it. And the PNP of Dr. Omar Davis practiced the exact same thing. And that's why it is shameful. Oh, we're going. It is shameful that these persons are the same ones who would now come and be on political platform or be on, in the newspapers or on traditional media houses talking as though they think that Jamaican people have short memory or we forgot what they did, right? Policy matters. Policy matters. When you have only $500 million in the government coffers and you create programs to issue money to people, look at the money that the PNP borrow. If you want to have a good test of prudence in this country, look at the amount of money that the PNP borrow during the time that they govern Jamaica, and you try to figure out, did we ever get value for money? No. The same Greg Christie, Contractor General at the time, filed a report, and I think it was the Auditor General report also, that said that Jamaica under the PNP only receive about 40% of value in terms of every dollar we borrow. But the thing is, the PNP deliberate in their action because they don't borrow from institutions that will give them a guideline on how to spend that money. They borrow from people like people like Mark Golden and Bunting. People don't understand, that these guys were lenders to the government. When you buy government papers, then you are literally lending money to the government at very high interest rate, and that is how people like Mark Golden got rich. So when he come to tell you that, oh, me not come for scrape, and me make my money already. Yes, you did, Mr. Golden. You made your money on the back of the poor. And we must cement it in the back of these guys' head. They made their money out of the pocket of the poor working class in this country. When them sit back and buy government paper and go down to the North Coast and cock up them foot. And they were the same one who created the high interest rate saga, and they benefit from it. And then they come here now to pretend like them squeaky clean. Well, let me tell you something. PNP has not paid the political price for FinSac yet. No. And if there's one thing I am prepared to do, if I'm me alone out there in the wilderness, I will never stop until PNP pay the political price for FinSac. But
Yes. One of the questions I've always been asking is this. Coming out of FinSac, when about 90% of our financial institutions went under, the IMF during 2009-2010 revealed that 75% of the national debt was owed to local companies. Who were these people that held 75% of the debt?
The persons who own 75% of your debt were the same ones who out there on platform now talking.
But say they no come for script.
The same people through entities like Deering, Bunting and Golden, DB&G, who the Contractor General wrote it in his report based on his finding that they receive what he dubbed to be a sweetheart deal. And for those unsolicited, then go answer give away. And look here, these unsolicited proposals, is unique to the PNP at that time. Remember, say, DB&G sweetheart deal was not the only one. It is the same People's National Party who sold Outer-Many, Lenny Little White Outer-Many in Trelawney through a backdoor sweetheart deal. So
issuing sweetheart deal to comrades is not something new. It is their MO. That is how they do business.
The Iron Shore deal.
Huh?
The Iron Shore deal.
Well, I don't know about the Iron Shore deal. I know about the Rollins land deal. I know about the Shell waiver scandal. I know about the Iran sugar deal. And the list goes on. I know about Selentra. Anybody understand what happened out in St. Thomas after them closed on Goodyear factory?
Chops, and talk about Operation Pride, Chops. Operation Pride, to don't forget that one.
I'm coming to that. But anybody ever try to remember what happened when people like Lambert Brown, as a union head at the time, chased away the owners of the Goodyear factory out there to union antagonization? Anybody understand that Philip Caldwell at the time was the energy minister? Go and Google the Salucha, I think the name of the company is. Go and Google that, and it will tell you what Philip Caldwell, what was his contribution, or what he did in respect to that deal, which had the acres of land and the factory out there, which was proposed to be a BPO factory, and monies were allocated, but not a single individual was hired out there. Not a single block was laid out there. But the money gone like Sammy Mouth. It's the same thing with the school down Lisa Hanna's constituency.
Chops, net serve to Chops, net serve.
Yes.
That one net serve.
But that's what I'm telling you, that these sort of deals where PNP would bail out their friends and their close confederates is not something new. And if God forbid, and the PNP were to return to power in Jamaica, they are going to do the exact same thing they did during the 1990s, which is transfer wealth from the poorer class of Jamaicans, from the middle class, from the working people. They are going to transfer your money into their bank account. They did it before, and they will do it again.
Do what Percival say, I shall return.
That's in the 90s, right? When PJ Patterson fired him. PJ Patterson had to cut, Michael Mann had to cut him loose. Michael had to cut him loose because there was too much.
I remember, Remember that PJ was Michael's campaign manager for leadership at the party,
Yes.
And he gets so bad. That's why I have to kick him out.
Had to. And Portia Simpson run against him. Right? Portia run against him.
Chaps, that's why we always say, I know the warehouse that was up by Constant Spring Road, we have all that furniture them in night. Attack it already.
Let me tell you something. If we forget the deeds of the PNP, we are doomed to make the mistake again. And that's one thing we cannot afford to do. This country is blessed to be in this position today. This country is blessed to be. We're not used to them a territory. We are accustomed to whenever there's a road being built in Jamaica, or a bridge, or a school, or a hospital, anything that is being built, we're accustomed under the PNP to know that the money comes from some grant or some loan from some overseas country or entity. We never knew that we could collect revenue in Jamaica and actually use said revenue to develop country. We never knew that a foreign territory that to us. These moments are historic moment for us. We're not accustomed to this. We're not accustomed to spending 50 plus billion on national security without borrowing the money from somebody. We're not accustomed to that. We are accustomed to building the Williamsfield Highway that take you from Maypen all the way to Williamsfield, Manchester, without borrowing a penny. You think we're accustomed to that? We're not accustomed to that. So when these things happen, my brethren and sisters, we have to hold on to it with two hands. We're lucky and blessed to have people like Nigel Clark and Dr. Omar, Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness at the wheel. We are blessed. And for that, we have to give thanks and we have to hold on and protect them with their lives.
Where's it, Kevin?
Yeah, chaps. Remember before the 2016 campaign, 2015, they did have an interview with what name, the then finance minister, yeah?
Peter Phillips.
And he was saying about the forecast of IMF giving. And he was saying about the forecast of IMF. Yeah. They were saying that there was a forecast given to the IMF after the election, 2016 election, if they come back into power, how the tax and the country was going to be. I mean, you nobody talk about that, you know.
No, man, it wasn't before the 2016. It was leading up to the 2012 election when it was came out that he went to the US embassy and tell them that Jamaica would make a grave mistake should they bring back the PNP to power. That was what Peter Phillips said. Yeah, man.
But remember, I think there was a forecast in 2015 before the election, you know. Because
I remember the argument with him in 2015 when he was speaking of when he went to Washington and he was basically laughed at out of the meetings.
Yes.
They laugh after him basically. Say, we don't know which part to go because we're surprised that no collapse it. Right, that was basically the argument right here.
They preside over failure and the PNP should stay far from the coffers of this country because the history is not kind to them at all. History is not kind to the PNP. It is the said PNP former Minister of National Security, former Minister of National Security, and former Senator, right? Call himself Starboy KD Knight, who said he's disappointed that the political party that he is a member of, who served this country for so many years, is disappointed with their track record and the fact that they have nothing to show to the people of Jamaica that they have achieved. Him say it, not my words.
His words.
Not my words. His words. It is said, 1 second, it is said former minister as well of education and clergyman, right? From Central Kingston, Ronald Thwaite, that says, the PNP presided over the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. Those were words coined by the man himself, Ronald Thwaite.
It was the water minister, chaps, that says they all should be investigated for insider trading.
It is them. So, I don't know why people are wondering and having any long, cocky conversation with comrade and their ability to perform. Because we don't have to say it. They have said it about themselves.
About themselves.
So we don't have to come to nobody and convince nobody that the PNP is wrong for Jamaica. PNP themselves have said that. PNP themselves have said that. Yeah, man.
Well, next chance. Let me hear Ryan Myrie. The last name sound familiar. Mr. Myrie. Mr. Myrie, you can mute your mic.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Impacting. Hey, man, you know, go on, I listen, you know, go on, you talk the right thing, you know?
All right, sir.
Yeah, man. But they don't have no plan, they don't come with no sense of tell people and be a mix up and a gossip.
Character assassination, we call it.
Yeah.
Right. But we there and we are keep the fight going, Mr. Myrie. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Yeah, man.
There every day. Bless up. Dominant one.
Yeah, what's up? Good afternoon.
Because to repeat what KD Knight said.
Repeat. KD Knight said. KD Knight said. It is his deepest regret that having gone in 1989 where conditions were ripe, they did not do enough for the Jamaican people. The words of KD Knight.
His words.
His words. We not splice nothing.
I remember when the PNP
and to finish here up talking, he cannot commend himself nor the team.
Thank you. Yes, that
the team has not made progress to not even the poorest Jamaican. That was the words of KD Knight.
I must find the video on YouTube. We not splice everybody, you know.
Yeah, man, find the video, man. That was the words of KD Knight, brother.
One dominant one in the meantime, I'm going to search for the video.
What we must also talk about is that the Jamaica Labour Party has made a lot of company expanded, and if you look at even Tropical Battery, who could be listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and all of those, Lasco was also expanded. That has also expanded tremendously, right? And making $1 billion in revenue, much less net profit. And also what that does is also increase the employment level in terms of more people being employed. If it wasn't for the Jamaica Labour Party, we wouldn't have some of these companies around now, I can tell you that, because they want to get capitalization by not this thing. Because what they would have to do is go and borrow at expensive funds, mean high interest rates. So now they can go to market and borrow sell shares, which is cheaper way of getting capital to help fund their businesses.
Opposition senator, former People's National Party cabinet minister, today told Gordon House that he's not convinced the party made enough of a difference in the lives of the poorest Jamaicans in nearly 20 years in office.
KD Knight was contributing to a debate on a motion brought by his colleague Norman Grant.
An opposition senator and former People's National Party cabinet minister today told Gordon House that he's not convinced the party made enough of a difference in the lives of the poorest Jamaicans in nearly 20 years in office.
KD Knight was contributing to a debate on a motion brought by his colleague Norman Grant.
KD Knight wasn't convinced. He said Jamaicans won't want to hear about values and attitudes if they live in squalor. And he said he wasn't convinced the administration of which he had been a part for about 20 years had done enough to change the circumstances of the poorest.
My deepest regret is that having gone in 1989, where the conditions were terrible, and having left in 2007, I cannot proudly say that the conditions have changed so significantly that I would be content to applaud myself or the team. To applaud myself or the team.
His word.
Myself or the team.
His words.
Strangers.
His words. He cannot applaud himself nor the team. Right? That is what the man said. No? He cannot applaud himself nor the team. So when you hear some PMP come out and come tell you about the glorious 90s, listen to this man. He was a part of the cabinet. He was the Minister of National, I think he's the longest serving Minister of National Security we ever had. It was under his watch that murders crossed the 1,000 mark and have not looked back since. It was KD Knight. I don't think we have a Minister of National Security that served longer than him. It was under his watch in the 90s that the murder crept up, because the PNP, since 1972, has never entered government with a plan on how to govern. Them run past some catchy slogan, win election, and then, what would I call it, them freestyle it.
Wing it.
Wing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They enter past some catchy slogan, well, better must come. We put
Black
people
man
first.
time. Black
Turn
man
up the
time.
thing.
Turn up the thing. I know them they were. They were a time come.
No,
But
them and
they
time
change it-
come.
They change it to people time come now.
Right? Yeah. They have never entered this, and that is why up until this point, they don't see the need to present a plan of how they're gonna govern. Because it has never worked for them. They don't know. Them come in and then wing it.
We put people first.
We put people first, yes. Turn up the thing. All of them catchy slogans. Right? And then the country suffer. One PMP supporter yesterday said, no problem. Our job to mash it up, and then when we mash it up, we give back to the labor if we bill back. Gentle people, I am going to repeat something what Chap say. And from the day I say it, I repeat it every day. During the 90s, the likes of Peter Bunting and Mark Golding only had the ears of power. Yeah? During that time, they only had the ears of power. They did not have the signature that counts. And they were able to create the damage that they did. Can you imagine now with them having the actual power to do harm? Can you imagine what will the result of that be? All right. Just bear that in mind. That during the 90s, all they had was the ears of power. They didn't have the signatures that count. They never have the rubber stamp. So imagine now giving them the actual power to actually do something. Like I said, just like they did in 1992 when they incorporated DB&G, they've already incorporated another company and waiting again to move the assets of poor people, to move the assets of the middle class, to once again destroy the business class in this country.
Proven in him?
Proven. It's 2 times, remember, Manley, they tell the business class in the 70s, say, if you don't like what me I do, 5 flights a day, leave. PJ and Omar did not afford them the same privilege to say pack up and go. That team decides that we are going to rip them to shreds.
But Chuck, when me is, on the ground, a lot of people who don't know what is going on in Jamaica. People are feeding them and talking about Chinese come match up Jamaica and Chinese come take the land and all that thing. But what people don't understand, say, if Chinese was in Jamaica, a lot of poor people couldn't eat.
Let me say this to you, Kevin, whenever you hear them speak, explain this to them. Tell them that currently 4% of the national debt is owed to China. 4%. Just 4%. How much percent of American debt is owed to China? I think America owed China must be $8 trillion. Or $2 trillion, sorry.
I think about 98%.
All right. Jamaica owed China 4% of our national debt. 4%. Right? Let us measure the Chinese contribution this way. We may complain about China and China Harbor getting the majority of the work that is going on. We decided to test the theory out in Bulbia and give local contractor a chance to do the highway out there. China Harbor subletted the work to local contractors. And almost 6 years in now, and that road project is still going on. Every time rainfall a piece of it wash away. Now, every other section of the road that was built by China Harbour would have faced the same amount of water at some point. And none of them no wash away yet. Only the part that was where that telling us about with local contractor. They're not ready yet.
They're not ready yet. But chaps, look on 3 miles to 6 miles.
3 miles, thank you. Right, them not ready yet. 6-star general. Oh, remember, 6-star general. The last time I have a conversation with you, you nearly mad me. I think I did you come up here and come tell me, say, me, if you want to talk to you, because you have one video go viral. And I make say, no, me no want to talk to you today, 6-star general. Yeah, 6-star general come up here one night, come tell me, say, me, if you want to talk to him, because I have one video where I go viral. But 6-star general, no, sir, me not think you're too early. Right? But that is where we want people to understand. So we have some people that believe that they are entitled to Jamaica. Right? And that them alone must run Jamaica. And that them alone know how to run Jamaica. Right? But them track record is not even them no want to talk about them track record.
But chaps, me come to Jamaica come shop already now because you go in a supermarket and when me spend $12,000 at supermarket, I come out with the goods in my hand. I remember me going to one Chinaman wholesale. I me spend the same $12,000 and come out with a box.
Alright.
I look at my uncle. I look at my uncle. I say to my uncle, say, "How come the supermarket so dear and Chinaman so cheap?" He said nobody no shop at a supermarket at Jamaica. Go rich people.
All right, you see what you say, Kevin, that is very important. Because you see when people are compare prices, them like to go up to John R. Wang and then go up to La Sushan. La Sushan is the one supermarket up at Barbican.
Yeah, we know it, man, we know it.
All right, that's where them go and then look on prices and tell you. None of them now go down in the market. Then we tell you, say, one cabbage up that sell for $600 a pound. But then now tell us the same cabbage downtown in the market. I feel probably $200.
You know that.
Right? So they like to compare. Me go there so, and me go there so, and me go there so. But like Jamaica is no different from everywhere else where you have upper class, middle class, and lower class. If you in the lower class, and you feel say you must go shop at La Sushan and then you go back say your money can't go nowhere. That's the problem we have, you know. We have people who have wholesale money and I go try to spend it up La Sushan. and that them are complain about. We have people who have bus fare and I try to take taxi. Right? And that's our problem. The problem in Jamaica is not that people are earning some very serious money in Jamaica. They are just not spending their money wisely. They are just not properly trained in money management. Them believe that because me see the Prime Minister shopper a La Sushan, me must go up there too. Like that is them belief. But they don't know say I must live within my means until my means get to spot me want to live.
Chuck, can I add to that?
Sure, go ahead, Angel.
I don't think it's clear how you said it. It's not clear like how you said it, right? Because Cartel Show is coming up in a few. And thousands of people is going to be there. These same people who you are making a statement now to say them for shop within their means and yes, go where them can afford to go. But at the same point, at the same time, they will go above and beyond to get what is pleasurable for them. Whether it's a Stone Love or it's a show in Negril, whether it's Sands in Orchie, those things is what they value. So we have to put things in context. What I value, I'm going to put first. What I value is what's important to me. If I value my child going to school or college or shopping every week at the supermarket or wholesale or making sure that my picnic have lunch money or making sure some have enough money to carry me back to work for the next week, those things I'm going to prioritize and put first because that's what I value. But you have to put it as I said it. The value, how people value what they do and their life is a big deal. And I'm saying this to say, them love to talk about suffering and they love to talk about suffering. And like I said last night, I am struggling and I will always struggle because I will never be complacent at a basic where I'm at. I will always struggle to reach for more and more and more. Because even the rich man don't sit on his riches and say, I am good. He's still going for more. So being suffering and struggling is two different things. So when they say they must suffer, are you really suffering or are you struggling? And you are struggling because of decisions that you make, because of things that you put for everything else, things how you prioritize your life, what you want to put first. I'm going to say it, I'm not stop say it. We Jamaicans are, not we Jamaicans, some of us Jamaican truck, we are an ungrateful people. We put ourselves and simple things before we put value of what you really want out of life before anything else. And so when someone talk, I don't play my man because my priority and for them is not the same. So I can't compare myself with them because what I value is not what they value. So I can't compare myself to them.
Angel, they live for today and don't forget about tomorrow.
And that's true. They have right now them only want a belly full, immediate gratification. Right now. Them just want immediate gratification. What them eyes see, what them belly can eat. They don't think about, they don't have a year plan, 5-year plan, or 10-year plan. They're not thinking ahead. Yeah. They're only thinking for this moment. And so me and you is not in the same boat. We're not in the same class. I can't compare you to me. What I see for Jamaica, what I see for Jamaica is not what you see for Jamaica. You only see what your eye can see and what your belly can eat. That is the difference.
How can you
hold on, Kevin. 6-star General, same have a question. Ask a question, 6-star General.
Okay, me like the topic that you were discussing about how China can work and all these things. All right? But and how much Jamaica owed China. But what I would like to know, since you know so much, sir, I would like for you to explain to me now. Okay? China acquired 8 harbors in the world, and China spent $20 billion. All right, to acquire the 8 harbors. No, you can Google it and make sure the car, like you say, you know things and me know things, so we will make sure we know what we are talking about. So China, we need to know $20 billion. I need to know how much money. How much money?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
When PNP did in a power, how much money?
I'm not talking about PNP or Labour right. Let me finish talking to the gentleman.
No.
PNP or Labour right.
No.
Question.
No, hold on. Me ask you a question first.
What you ask me a question? What kind of man? You have no manners. Woman, you know about me, woman. I have 4 baby brother me have, woman.
Me know you taxi around. Me know you taxi around.
Let me finish talk to the man.
A taxi around, me know you.
You could taxi around. Tell him your mouth, hey girl, let me tell him.
Yeah, jiggle down a bottom road a man to go be. Yeah, jiggle down a bottom road a man to go be.
Okay, Kevin, I'm not gonna.
Poverty,
I don't care.
Hold on, Angel. Hold on. Poverty
I'm muted. Go ahead.
Poverty been a knock on your door from morning till a night, till a morning again till a night. Poverty a knock on your door, 6-star General. Me know you.
Him come back over so with it again.
Yes, you're gigolo. You sell drugs. You run taxi. You date white woman. What else? Me don't know. So poverty knock on your door and the PNP. All you should not say PNP. Cause all know you're supposed to live in your car. So talk, what you say now about Chinese, you should have been one of them who open one of the biggest wholesale down Montego Bay. You should have run a car mat at Montego Bay. You change car, not even a brief, you not change. So, remember see a riverside, you beard. Remember, see a standpipe, you beard. Remember say all know you don't live nowhere. Remember good. So when you come at talk about Chinese talk straight, me I listen now. One.
Lashika, what are you come, Lashika? What put me head, Lashika?
Da da dee.
Listen, man.
Da da da.
Lashika, what put me head?
No, he come with it over Munchi for one night, man.
Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Boy, class nice this evening, Angel.
From what he come over Munchi with the disrespect, man. Him disrespectful. And that me never tell Chuck, don't take him up, cause I'm disrespectful to him, man.
Yeah, man. 6
Make him an asking question, man. Make him an asking question, man. Sure.
Guys, hold on. Mute your mic. Too many mics are open. Nathaniel, your background is very noisy. Thank you, guys. Mute your mic if you're not talking. Nathaniel, you have a noisy background. 6-star General Darling, open your mic and go ahead and speak. 6-star General, I think he's on a call. I don't know. I can't really see. Go ahead, Chuck.
He probably don't know if he mute his mic.
Lashika, what will you drink tonight?
Me know them. Me know that the man they used to carry me go to school in a taxi. Me know him. Anyway, me see him. Anyway, me hear him voice. I know his voice. I know him. Yes, me know him. Me know him. Me not tell no lie on him. I'm carrying living from me know him till now in change taxi. Not even briefing a change so much. But me not go back over and here. Me just read out in your receipt. So here he is fine.
I'm muting myself. Please, I'm muting myself.
This is not my first encounter with 6-star General. Like I said before, I had a conversation with him one night when he came up and I saw him type this question in the chat about how much money China owe Jamaica, but I think he meant to say how much money Jamaica owe China. But I said it before, presently 4% of our national debt is owed to China, right? 4% of our national debt is owed to China. China don't own Jamaica. If the US owe China $2 trillion and China not own US, then how comes them going to own Jamaica? Right? The Chinese...
But Chuck, I like to speak on that. You see? I don't know. People just think everything is indigenous to Jamaica. And I don't know why.
Hold on, sis. Sis, someone come back in. Someone come back in. Let me borrow somebody box.
Anytime I go to Jamaica, anytime I see 6-star, I go and put him in a place. I know exactly when in taxi stand there, if him still around taxi, if him not there bottom road. I'm Antigua Bay.
All right, sister. Let's hear him. Let's hear him, sis. Let's hear him.
Hello. Take my number. 876 297. Let me give her the number.
No call out the number upon the people and things, sir.
Me just mute him.
All right.
No call out the number. If you want to give somebody a number, say you inbox them your number.
Girl, listen carefully. Me don't know where you're there. Me don't care where you want there. Okay? I don't care where you're there, where you want there. One good thing you don't talk, say me ever do, is try to beg your sex. You must be a damn drunk or why me never try to beg your sex. Okay? Copy a young girl me talk to. I mean, I know how me ever.
You see 6-star.
6-star, no. Okay, this is woman boy.
Exactly. That's a big fan. That's what I ask you. You are your speak. That's what a big fan.
Yeah, 6-star.
I'm sorry.
So I right to delete him.
And let me tell you something.
We're going to put him down same time. We're not put up with that.
And let me tell you something.
That's why I'm begging enough to put him up, you know. That's why I'm begging enough to put him up.
Plank, I do.
Me want to send him up on that mama, you know, can do it one night over Munchi, you know.
Yeah.
Total, man. Me no disrespect, man.
Right, let me call you back.
Good evening, Marcia.
Yeah.
I was that Zandra. Good evening, Zandra.
What on?
Are we there?
Right time to come on the conversation about my other half.
Blessed love, blessed love.
Good evening, other half.
Good evening, good evening.
Well, I listen to no vibrant.
Good evening.
What on, master? What on, master? What's going to come there?
Last let me just say something and come down.
What on, master? What's going to come there? Make Sandra continue. Go on, where I say no, better half. With other half. Is it other half or better half?
No. Husband, Ozzy.
Oh, better half. Better half. Yeah.
Better. Now I was listening to you people when I was speaking about what them PNP used to say and what them say and what them confess and all them thing about you forget one person.
Which one?
Which is a Rasta man.
Oh yes, Damian.
When him did say there's a few people in the party who would have voted for.
That he would never vote for.
Yeah, when you forget the part there. And that will bring it to you because it's not everything. They're a piece I can not left out.
Yeah, man.
So,
Damian is the man who also said, Damian said something else, you know. Damian said when he went to politics, one of the first things he learned was that it wasn't the politicians that were at fault. You know. Damian said, I learned that the people them don't want nothing. Damian said, never forget the people them out and constituency. Them say, oh, you think education can eat? When me tell you, say PMP equate everything to them belly.
But to say there's one thing we can't afford. Like how we are spread, like how we spread the message and the thing. We really can't afford say Mark Golding take control of the country.
Under no circumstances.
Because if we just state now, say, hold on, if you just state now which part. Remember call him, I call him president, but remember keep this. Doctor. The doctor, I do the job good. We cannot afford for them come and messed up because, as me I tell my sister, you know, say, I give up a lot of things to get rid of enough of them though. I'm seriously mean it. Seriously mean it because me have great-granddaughter born last month. I'm a great-grandfather. My first great-grandchild. You think me where she come live? The life is short. Some life is short. Me pass through PNP. No. Me can't afford that. So. Like on the platform, as I spread the message, me out the road, you know. Cause me work in the street, you know. You see it? And when me get a chance, me have a meeting on street corner, you know.
Yeah, man.
You understand me? To make the people them understand the history. Because that is, you know, you have to give them the history. Because history what we learn from, you know. So, when you give them the history, they have something for going to think about. And that
is why they shy away from the discussion of the history,
but they say, some point in time, the devil must tell the truth, don't they?
Yes.
Must tell the truth.
Listen, all the while, listen to them.
They confess now. Yeah, man. Actually, I confess now. You understand me? So, because we have this, we want to hold on to it and carry it. Because we still know enough night, you know, enough day, you know. And somebody history them, when I want to bring them back right to my head.
Yeah, man, because we know how important that part is. We know the history.
Yeah, that is it. You understand me? So, we just want to continue, keep it.
All right, keep doing your part and we go on to our part.
Blessed love.
Big up Zandra husband. Big up yourself.
Big up Zandra husband. Big up Rashida husband.
This is somewhere, man, because this interesting, trust me.
All right.
This interesting. Because as my man come a while ago, I come talk about China, this. Oh, China to come take the country. But I understand. Some people talk something sometimes. It's just ignorant.
Me say, even if we get China a piece of land, and China get vexed, they can't take up the land and carry it with them.
They can't carry it with them. Never left that one. But that's that big so. So come on, people, come on. Them forget it. And I can't understand how educated people are so stupid. I think so stupid. What you know?
They're not educated. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
who said they're educated?
You know, me not never educated in America. Me not know. Hold on, let me ask a question. Hold on. Let me say something. To teach certain thing in a university, certain subject or certain thing in university, you have to have a master's, don't you?
Yes.
To teach certain things. So watch me now.
Yeah, for PhD.
People with masters and PhD are what they want to call it. Saying they chat some things sometimes.
But I want to tell you. But let me tell you this, Mr. Boy, what we know for a fact. And we have several people who we use to prove it. You see, once you go and get yourself educated, you will never vote PNP.
You never vote PNP.
No, Chuck, you have to correct yourself, because we have a lot of educated people that is voting PNP.
No,
I
have a theory,
Let me just say it and then you can jump in. These educated people benefited directly.
Yes.
So it's like them loyal to the PNP.
Right.
As Chuck said, I think Chuck said it that Damian Crawford is one of them.
Damian is one of them. Because they send him go school.
Right, Damian entire family at JLP. But it's like he is loyal to them based on the personal benefits.
Oh my God.
Right, so that's my theory, Lashika. That's my theory, because the lawyers that are in the PNP that they would have benefited from Michael Manley's free tuition policy at the university level.
Yes.
So they're coming back to join the PNP now. It's paying homage to the People's National Party, because they can't talk to policy, they can't talk to history, because history will support them when it comes down to governance and the governance of this country. So they benefited directly from the spoils of the People's National Party in the 70s and the 90s. So them joining the People's National Party now is paying homage to the party. That's all. Nothing more.
Kevin, hold on. Then let me just say this, and then as Guru said that, I remember a close protection officer on Twitter. He posted he was so disgruntled with the lawyers and the whole civil society, and he said he worked 2 administrations, right? And he said he saw a lot of them in the PNP offices and wherever, and he said they benefited, and he cannot call their name, but he see them on Twitter chastise the government, and it's because of their benefits why they come out and speak against the government. Yeah, man.
You see?
Yeah, we don't call her name a while ago. And brother, we don't top call the man name, because the man is useless, brother. Damian Crawford name me attack. The man don't have no sense, brother. The man just talk.
He's a waste.
No, he's not. Me disagree. Right. He just needs to be sharpened in the right way. You see, even on the JLP side, he would so much of his policies and way of thinking would be so socialized.
My friend, let me tell you something. No sensible man can go in an election campaign and talk about say he might promise 5 go to eat or so, brother. That man has no sense. That man has no sense. Don't tell me that man has sense,
brother. That's sensible.
That's sensible.
Look what I look at now. Sorry, I look at a big picture. Watch this. I look at Central Kingston, I look at East Kingston, right? I travel through this place there. And when I look at it, it's a disgrace. In the city Kingston, is the capital of Jamaica. It's a disgrace. People are pit toilet. People are throw garbage in the gully. The house them. I don't know how them live in the house, you know.
Real shit in a scandal bag.
I don't know how them live in it. And you tell me, say, you have a member of parliament here to year, term to term, and you still live in that squad there?
Because you like the shit.
Let me say
Jesus Christ.
Couple years ago, about 3 years
it's a disgrace. It is a disgrace.
3 years ago, the government put a plan to renew Central Kingston. And you know what Randy Tweed said? Randy Tweed said, you don't need to fix nowhere. You just need to give the people them the money, because you can't take people out of their comfort zone. So my question to Randy Tweed, will you be comfortable living in Central Kingston? And I think the answer is no.
But big man, as we speak right now, you try to push out debris out of Sandy Gully now. I may tell you too, most of the things that will contribute debris at Sandy Gully, that was something I'm a witness, is that people are coming around uptown too, who are drive through the Forden, and drop them garbage in a gully too.
Brother, I see you living right beside Sandy Gully, you know.
Oh.
You can't tell me nothing about Sandy Gully. Sandy Gully is my neighbor.
Alright.
If you guys sorry to cut in, I mute some of your mic, right? Because we have almost 200 people on here, and the conversation is very informative. And so when you guys are not talking, please mute your mic, and when you're ready to talk, just open it, because sometimes there is a delay based on your service, and so it sound good. So I'm muting the mic, but I don't want to mute you guys' mic. You should mute your own mic. Okay, we have thousands of people in the My View page, and so we just want to keep this clean. Thank you.
Well, Marcia wanted to say something. Marcia, go ahead.
No, I was saying I heard 6-star general that disrespect you. Lashika, everything that you talk about 6-star general is true. Me live a mobile, me know 6-star general. Him a pimp, him be at the roadside, him do everything that's bad. That is so true.
Know him.
So when he go say, you know me, everybody know him.
Because he's a taxi man. He's a taxi man
of course.
From a yeah, from here, there me until now we a taxi man. And this is
like all clothes.
This is why
General, they know your files, sir.
And this is why I'm saying to him, you're not supposed to come and bash this government because you're supposed to reach. You're supposed to either own a car mart, a wholesale, or him should have even down the bottom road and run the weed store down there.
Of course.
In the left down there, him is a damn gigolo.
Big gigolo, big time.
Well, as a PMP supporter, sir, I can't put you in 6-star general.
Call him gigolo, man.
Gigalo.
I can't put you in Bruce.
The man is a rastitude.
You know him, man. I see him, man.
Listen to me. Let's not be distracted by 6-star general. 6-star general come for spreading propaganda, and I believe Shika kinda threw one piece of iron in his spokes. So he become flustered for a minute and couldn't talk. So let's not be distracted by him. But what we're saying is that we have couple, as thing they say, just listen to the PMP and then we tell you what them think. Damon Crawford tell us that PMP have bad eyes, you know. Because if them up, then we pass the road and fix, and when they fix it, they say, oh, me never get the road to fix it. If you give them the road, they say, oh, me never the supervisor. That their job is to always complain about something. The only way you can get a PMP enough to complain is to tell him, say, every morning, come down at the parish council and I'm going to give one brown envelope and you go back at your yard. That's the only way, and probably the more complaints say, why me have to come down there? Why you can't come give me? That's a PMP for you. And the party itself now enable that behavior. Come on, come back, Zandra.
Yeah. What I want to remind about that brother too. You remember him that also said, saying the PNP party cannot take Jamaica to where it wants to go. Him said that, you know. Damon Crawford for them. That is what I think that Damon Crawford said. The PNP cannot take Jamaica to where it wants to go. You understand me? So when I left in my head, me cannot sit down and look at that and say then we sit down and people sit down and people and really listen to them, man. Alright, they're Mark Golden down at St. Elizabeth, somewhere down there, and I must say, Jamaica is in a good stand. Remember, I confess, you know, Jamaica is in a good stand. Yes. Jamaica is going to wait. Jamaica actually, we have strong reserves. Yes. Exactly. No, if me not meet like that, and that man look at me and look at and say something like that, when me let that mean, your team say me I go vote for him. Me I go vote for a man like that. Eh? Because the only question I ask him now, you know. Then big man, tell me one question now. Why we should have vote against a man? That's the question I ask him now.
And the issue
you tell me why we should have vote against the doctor.
The supporters them are not smart enough to question those things.
Yes, listen, that's the thing. People afraid to ask questions. Because like they're afraid of people. You can't afraid. Because when time, alright, your leader come look on you and them say, tell you, say, you know, say, the man over there, so I do well good, better than me, I know. Well, he never do nothing yet, you know. Because I don't see what Mark Golden ever do. See? Me not see what he never do nothing as far as me is concerned.
Things up.
Well, here we have the people them.
There's a lady. Hold on,
You understand me? So watch me now.
There's a lady in the chat that says, my orange blouse turned green. And we'd love to hear from you, Alyssa. We'd love for you to jump in the box and tell us why. I hope we contributed to the change.
You can take me down.
Yeah, man, bring her up, man. Why
If they can bring up Alyssa.
Yeah, bring her up. Look here.
Tap the box and join, Alyssa. You don't mind. She gone. Alyssa, you coming? Let me look for you.
if she want to come up.
Yeah. If she not welcome, she can say. That's fine with us.
Shower labor right.
Shower.
Pick up on us, sir.
We're not seeing her. Look like she no want come, so.
Mark Golden have to talk, you know. Mark Golden have to say what he say, you know, because the amount of liar where Mark Golden tell upon the Jamaica Labour Right Party, he have to take him own mouth come talk about it good how the Jamaica Labour Right Party are doing, you know. He have to do it. Nobody never did that beg him. He have to do it.
Oh, here, Alyssa, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, good night.
Good night. I hope we contributed to the reason why you dashed through the orange shirt. Although orange look good on black women, but let us continue.
Well. You know, in Jamaica, most of we grew up. If you are PMP, if the parents PMP, you know, say we have to follow after that. So that's how I was brought up in the PMP world. But I live with say them are fraud, them are robbers, thief, and they do nothing. I'm from Westmoreland. And Westmoreland gone to the dog. Yeah. So yeah, that's why.
Thank you. I hope you can convince your neighbor to vote.
Are you in Jamaica?
Because they're trying to trick. They're trying to come
Are
back
you
down
in
there.
Jamaica?
No, I'm in the US.
Oh, she's still not there.
Are you in Jamaica? So who is Amber Lindsay Taylor?
Where's the Philippine?
I'm asking her who is Amber Lindsay Taylor.
Oh.
Who's what?
Amber Lindsay Taylor. I don't know who that is.
Amber Lindsay Taylor.
I don't know.
That's
I'm asking the, yeah, Alicia, I'm asking that, yeah.
Who is that? I don't know.
Are you coming home to vote, Alyssa?
The display name that you have, that is your
Yes,
name?
I'm still a citizen, so yeah, I'm gonna come to vote.
The display name that you have, that is your name, and
Jesus Christ, Philippians. Alyssa, we hope you can convince your fellow peers down there to do the same. And because Westmoreland, there's absolutely nothing going on down there, and everybody wants to come and say, yes, we did this, we did that. Which constituency are you from, if you don't mind?
I'm from Lambs River.
Lambs River.
Yeah.
I'm not Clarendon. There's a Lambs River.
Just the traffic coming. Traffic.
Lambs River, I thought she said Longsville. Oh, sorry. I'm not hearing.
Lambs River, yeah.
Okay.
Right, but like me say, just talk to your neighbors. Tell us you cannot hand over back Westmoreland. And when you think of it, you say the parents, you know, Alyssa.
Yeah.
The problem with the said Westmoreland has been the most loyal parish to the People's National Party, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Loyal.
And that's the problem.
Danny Lawrence is an MP now,
and they produce at one stage they produce a prime minister.
Hold on, Chuck. The prime minister that you're talking about is the same constituency she's from. And Danny Lawrence has to be in that constituency, yes.
And he's not doing anything.
Yes. PJ was the member of parliament from there. The water minister, the agricultural minister, and the tourism minister. These are the caliber of representative that came out of Westmoreland for the People's National Party. And today date, Westmoreland is still suffering from a water distribution problem, and they produce a water minister. Think of that, you know.
Right, just to show
Westmoreland
you.
today is this government is putting something in place to permanently fix the water distribution problem in Westmoreland, and they produce a water minister under the People's National Party government.
And a prime minister.
The longest serving mayor. Yeah?
True.
Yes. The longest serving mayor, the mayor from Lucy, I forget his name, after being about 40 years in the office. When him leave office, the man was brave enough to go to the road with placard and demonstrate for water.
Carl Blight it is.
Carl Blight, the water minister, yes. When the mayor Lucy left office, he was brave enough to go outside and demonstrate for water. When the man was in charge of giving water to the people.
Oh my God.
Right? I don't know who remember him. The man was lit. Yes, the farmer mayor was outside demonstrating for water. I tell you. So I'm glad the young people that is there now see it and realize we can't continue the same way. Alisa, this is Travis. Travis is from the same Westmoreland.
Yeah.
Go in a PMP was sold too.
Oh, okay.
But the parents them I said no, yes, so we have to go.
Finally the people them come out and attack now. Finally.
Good night, everybody. Bless up. Big up.
Yeah, we are seeing and learn, you know. We are seeing and learn.
My God.
Need to learn. Like seriously, Westmoreland need to learn.
At the same time, you know, at the same time.
Up, they're sleeping.
Hold on, Motto. Go on, Chavi.
Westmoreland has produced the longest serving prime minister Jamaica ever had. Eastern Westmoreland to be exact. Westmoreland has also produced housing, water, tourism, agriculture, all ministers of government for a lengthy period of time. Westmoreland should not go through it, I go through right now, man. A disgrace. I don't understand how these people keep voting PNP. It's absolutely mad.
And when you think of it, you know, the last major development that Westmoreland saw was the pier that was constructed to bring in tourism. And that was constructed under Edward Seaga.
So what now?
The pier.
Which pier?
There's a pier, you have a pier in a Westmoreland, man. In a Negril.
Hey, no, Chuck. Nope.
Well, I'm just going.
Way back in the days, hold on, way back in the days when Froome Sugar Factory was a thing, there was a dock in downtown Savlamar. Yeah. I'm going to tell you about way back, long time ago. And that was shut down under the PNP, never to return. So they used to ship off sugar from downtown South. There was a huge warehouse down there. The barges would come into the shallow waters to collect the sugar to bring up to the ships. I tell you about way back. Right now, that done with even the barge them cut up and sell for scrap metal.
I want to ask Alisa a question though before she go.
PNP they shut down that.
Alisa? I tell you, PNP shut that down long time.
Yeah, I want to ask Alisa a question. So Alisa, tell me, what was the turning point for you? Because we don't see this very often, you know. What was the turning point? What caused you to switch? What was the turning point for you?
There's nothing going on in Westmoreland. Nothing not going on in Westmoreland. The only thing I see, them I get money and I wrap it up and not using it.
Okay.
And I see what Andrew Owen is doing. I like what I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
You made the right choice, Alisa. Commendations to you. Commendations to you.
The turning point for me was when Mr. Holness was education minister and what he was doing towards education. That's when he got my support. And I say, you know what, this man is going to be a future prime minister. Back then time, I didn't have a vote.
Okay.
I had a vote back then time. But I made the switch because of Mr. Holness. And I'm even proud right now when I see him sticking to his core beliefs and philosophy about building Jamaica.
Right.
Sticking to them and executing them, and that makes me even more proud of the decision I made. I also back then I think I was in high school at that point. I told my father, I told my mother about it. You know what I mean? My father especially laughed when Miss Simpson Miller beat him to the prime ministership. He laughed at me, you know, hold it until he made his return, and over his tenure right now. My father, one of the biggest fan for him, and he must PNP from him a little bit from my grandmother days coming back.
Oh my gosh.
Tradition from my grandmother coming to him, and I just break the chain. I was like, nah, I'm not taking this because y'all say it. I look into things myself, and what I believe in and what I believe will help Jamaica is being portrayed and being done by this person. So I have to support him.
So let me ask you something, Chavi. I don't intend to cut you. Let me ask you this, being as if you're saying that. So what about the other people who was before you, seeing what the PNP is doing, no growth, no prosperity, no success, and still stick on?
Yeah, me have aunts, uncles. I have a brother who's older than me who is on that side still. I have one brother that is older than me. He's still an Orange Ranger. I have aunts, uncles who are still Orange Rangers for what I don't know, because they get no personal benefit, to my knowledge, and they're not doing anything for Westmoreland. For all of my life that I've lived and experienced, PNP has had control of Westmoreland. I'm talking about MP and councillorship, mayorship. It has always been. And all I've seen is where it keeps going down, shutting down. I don't see where anything is being opened until this MP being George Wright has him open one call center. If even that he will have him legacy. I mean, he has done many roads, he has done many things, but he has these things to his legacy. The people before him, what is their legacy? Roger Clark, what's Roger Clark's legacy?
Nothing.
What's Dwayne Vaz's legacy? And if you go before it, even those two, what's that person's legacy? Nothing. If you go back to the mayor, who Bertil Moore, who was mayor for the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation. Westmoreland Municipal Corporation was the only corporation without a municipal building of its own. And during Bruce Golding time, Desmond McKenzie visited Westmoreland and said, no, this can't work. And the administration granted 74 million Jamaican dollars just to build, because they already had the land. It was already government property. And the money eat off, and the building was not finished.
My gosh.
It took the return of Mr. Holness' administration to come and finish that building. And when Mr. McKenzie get into it again, you know what happened? The contractor had a stroke because the money was completely finished. And the building was 40% done over 4 or 5 year period.
My God, PNP don't have no plan for Jamaica now.
I don't understand how Westmoreland people still support them. The police station that in Savlamar, the Westmoreland Police Headquarters, that thing is from colonial days, way back. It's a board building, upstairs and downstairs, board building. So you know it's a colonial building practice them there. It's now a brand new police headquarters is being built. And you know what happened? PNP still running and tell the people them say a prison. This administration a built for them in a Westmoreland.
Wow.
I don't understand the people down there. It's crazy.
I get it either. Travi. I don't get it. I don't see why people continue, because as I said earlier, Westmoreland ought not to look how it look today in 2024. It not look so.
True, man.
If you drive to Westmoreland, it's a wilderness in the parish.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. You see, Westmoreland people, they work. They can work. They know to work for themselves and all of that, and build, because a lot of the people building up down here. But when it comes on to government practices and voting for a representative, I think they're too careless and too partisan where it is concerned. It's like, oh, it's sport, the Orange House, me and I just go for Orange House. That's how they handle it. We're not handling it with the sensible nature of it. Say, okay, we're putting in somebody to make to impact the community, to make decisions that will benefit our community. They're not doing that.
It is the largest community of board house.
That's a major problem. Right now, I remember when Miss Malahoo Fort was running for the Central Westmoreland. That's like a couple of years ago. I remember I was coming from school and she had a spot meeting. I'm jumping to say something. And when she gave me a chance to speak, I reminded her of the many communities that surround the area. And I said to her, where's the Heart Training Institute for all these communities? What is happening for the people who left high school, won't end up in college? Where do they go? Because not everybody's going to end up in college when they leave high school. And if you check all the high schools around the area, Mannings are put out over 1,000 graduates are school leaving people. You understand me? Then you have the Savlamar High School, that is a couple hundred. You have Godfrey Stewart High School. This is just in Savlamar only, who's putting out over 1,000 students at the end of a 5-year term in high school. What will they turn to? And that was way back when I was going to school. Me graduate from school, me not even there in Jamaica now. And still there isn't a Heart Trust facility in the area.
But remember the Savlamar Adventist High School too, right? You need to count that in it.
Sav High, yeah, that's a couple of hundreds they put out. But Godfrey Stewart High School and Mannings, because these are all high schools within the town of Savlamar. I didn't even go to the outskirts, just in the town. You have over 2,500 students that is leaving yearly. What do they go to? Okay, let's say we put 1,000. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. So we put 1,500 then goes to college. What happened to the other 1,000? There isn't. And I believe if they put it in where it's reachable, it's nearby, where these people can access these facilities, then maybe people will go to it. People will go to it. Because it's accessible, it's nearby. The closest Heart Trust Training Institute to the Savlamar area. Because Savlamar have a crime problem when you check it out, because if we get deep into it, they do have a crime problem. Multiple Zozos was, established in the area. But my point is the closest training institute to these people, you have to either go to Petersfield, which is way out of the town, Grangeville or White House. You understand me? Even the students in the Negril area, where do they go? Where do they go? Seaford Town. Yes, Mr. Churchill. Yeah, and Seaford Town. Right? Where do they go? The people from the students in the Negril area come into the Savlamar area, like seriously. Because Petersfield has a high school there that is putting out over 1,000 students too. And Grangeville has high school in the vicinity. More than one, even spill over from Hanover too. Right?
So we have Little London with a big area.
Little London High School also, who is putting out hundreds of students at the end of a 5-year school term for high school. If they're not going to college, what do they turn to? And this has been a cry of mine for years. I'm not in Jamaica nowhere. Mr. George Wright, I do the thing, and few people, advocate for this. But it's still a concern of mine, because where does the people go after high school? What
is even more disturbing and upsetting is the fact that because Westmoreland continues to be a bastion for the People's National Party, and the People's National Party continue to exploit the people for votes.
Yes.
So a part of me is upset for that reason, and then another part of me is said, okay, they deserve it because they continue to vote every election period. They continue to vote against their own interests. So the PNP, if you can get a fool for use, you're going to use a fool, and that's the situation with People's National Party and the supporter in Westmoreland. So they continue to be a fool. So yes, use them.
And Guru,
yes, but guys, when Mr. Patson asks what they want,
let me solidify Guru's point, then me let you in, Mr. Palmer. Now, we have noticed that 2 rejects has been thrown into Westmoreland, being Ian Hills and their general secretary, who could win a seat anywhere else, but then throw them into Westmoreland, hoping that, hey, this is the best place we could have probably get you a seat because these people are always loyal to us. Westmoreland people need to wake up and smell the coffee and spot the nonsense that they're doing, because if these people were proper representatives, then you wouldn't have to vote against them. And you had vote against their compatriots before. Why would you take in somebody else? Birds of a flock, they flock together. Westmoreland, remember, you gave 4 consecutive terms to Wickham McNeil. What's his legacy? What's his legacy? 4 consecutive terms, over 25 years to the former mayor. What's his legacy?
Travi, your sister, them take the people them for eat that them a build police station down there and them tell them about them a build prison. This is how they take people for idiot. Them not even telling you the simple truth that is going to come to light in the future. Right? A police station a build down there and them take the people down there for such and headquarters, right? And them take the people them for such dummies that then come and then tell them say, oh, a prison them a bill. If uno the sensible people them can't use that take sleep and my debt, then I'm sorry for uno.
Yeah, the people of Westmoreland need to wake up and speak for what they want. Negro vibes, you have to be an advocate. I agree with what you're saying. You said that Little London needs reform. How can we get this? Collectively come together and put a voice. You have to speak up because it makes no sense we see the issue and don't say anything. So I like the fact that you are on board with reform for this area. Obviously you're from the area because your name Negro vibes. Speak up, bro. Speak up, bro. Follow my program, follow your page. The issues. I will support you.
Because the young people them down there lost. I
don't think it is lost. It's more like their priorities are, their priorities need to be rearranged. A lot of the people, their priorities are not in the right place. And like I said, they don't take this electoral process seriously. Like I said, for some people, just sports day. Orange my people and wear orange and that's it. Then show up for the smoking and the drinking and the vibe and that's just it. The reality
I am originally from Westmoreland. Read the comments.
That these people have, the role that these people are supposed to play is being overshadowed by the vibes, the drinking, you know what I mean? That's what's happening.
Richard wanted to say something.
They don't care because here's something I often hear Westmoreland people say. It no matter who na po, I have to go work tomorrow morning. Which is true. But their work will better your life even though you have to go work because guess what? You have to go for work and you don't have a proper roadway to travel upon. It's the process of voting that will fix that. Who you give your vote determines the type of road you will drive on to go to work. It determines whether or not you're going to have a work.
Zandra, are you still here? I can borrow your box a little bit. Who is not here? Richard,
yeah, man. Go ahead. No problem.
Let me just shut up now so you can get a chance.
Guys, I'm saying I am originally from Western Westmoreland. So the whole parish started automatically. Man, I know it from back to back. Every crib is on kind of Westmoreland. And I remember when Russell Hammers was running on the JLP ticket, they said he's a right man, he's a good man, but on the wrong side. And when Mr. Patterson come down, because I know his constituency in Darlington area very well, I've been to those areas several times. The people, and in also White House, Betheltown, when they ask him what they want, we don't want to see you. So what is that saying to us? And a lot of the young people, they're just following the footsteps of what their parents are doing or their grandparents. They're not thinking for themselves. And this is where my disappointment comes because I talk to a lot of them. And they say, boy, we can't do like you. But as our system said, they say, no, you can, tomorrow is your future. For me, just another day. You have to make sure that you set a foundation. We are trying to leave a better Jamaica for you. So you must capitalize on it and look for your future. One guy said to me, say, look, when they don't do good with us, vote them on. He said, that's not the solution. Get engaged. Let your voice be heard. And until you start doing that, things will remain the same. But both parties can't be the same. One have to be better than one. And you have to look at the track record, look at the history. And then you can make a more informed decision. Like this evening on Algeria News, I hear Dan Addison poll come up with a poll saying that Mark Gordon is ahead of Andrew Holness.
Rubbish.
And again, it come with the propaganda.
Dan Anderson is going to go on until nobody pays him any mind. As a matter of fact, nobody has respect for him. The only respect he has is because Glean and all of them are going to bring him up to start the rubbish because all of we are not for the same guy. So come up and give him the platform to speak. He has no... Listen, Dan Anderson, remember, Portia had a double-digit lead according to your polling. And it's the same thing for Mr. Phillips. Both are in retirement. I think you should join them in retirement now, Dan Anderson. It's time you
But
try.
when RGR is losing money left, right, and center, and they're still not getting it.
Exactly so. Exactly so. RGR is losing money left, right, and center. You
So
say the
with all
right
the
thing.
talk, with all the talk going on in Westmoreland, what is the hope for the change down there? Is it that JLP will not get a chance to stand out down there?
I believe the chance is there for the taking. What I'm personally suggesting is ramp up the campaign in educating the people on what is going on. We can't just sit down and say, "Cho, them are going to go at the polls because of this and that and whatever." We have to ramp up campaigning. Yeah?
Rapidly.
There was a young man that came on who is pretty close. As a matter of fact, Dujan has connections to Winnie. I'm going to have a conversation with Dujan regarding them. And even Miss Danik, they're going to need to speak to them people. We need to ramp up the campaigning and educating the youth. People for them on the ground and make them know, say, yo, this, that, and that. Yeah, because a lot of these decisions that people make, they make it out of the moment without thinking about how history affects the decision that they have made. Because guess what? The history is, and the best predictor of past behavior, according to psychology, the best predictor of past behavior, of future behavior is past behaviors. What has happened in the past? They have just come get the vote and gone.
So what
neglected the parish for years.
So what is it? Now it's youth. The older folks is dying and getting out of the business, but they are old in the old PNP always. What is it that can attract the youth that can allow them to have a mindset to work towards achieving something and scamming? Because scamming is what I've seen. It's taking over Negril, Sav, and
Somebody
over.
tell me, say, you see, Mr. Roden, Sydney, don't send no request, because you're not coming at this box here. Not today. As long as me there, you're not grace this box here.
Who is on there, Sydney?
Yeah.
We don't want Sydney up here.
I want decent conversation I go on Sydney.
It's bigger than Sydney. Somebody tell me, say, you see, Roden, that the people, some of the young people them in Westmoreland, they made a lot of money through scamming, right? The money that they made through scamming, it don't know, because remember that they are tightening up things, right? Some of them start business and all of that. The business don't thrive because a lot of them don't have any business. They're not business savvy, right? They don't know how to operate a business. They don't know how to maintain it. So the business mash up. Some of them buy how much car, the car they mash up, no money to fix it, etc. So they are now blaming the government for their loss.
Okay.
That is what I get from it.
In some circles, that phenomenon is really true. In some circles. But Mr. Roden asked, how can we attract them? And my response to that is not attract them. Let us go to them. Not let us say, oh.
No, that's what I meant, you know. What I'm saying, you know.
Go to them.
Yeah, that's the point, you know. What I'm saying, what is it that we can do to get to them?
Yeah.
To get in their mind.
It is a real question, because when you tell these people who have experienced such a large sum of money, how do you tell them that, hey, you need to go back into the workforce? Psychologically, you're going to have to get to them, because
them never start the workplace and they start getting their money, free money.
Them not know about a little bit of money, so you have to start playing the psychological game. Not a
Read
game.
these comments.
Not a
Read these
game.
comments. Read this comment. I grew up in Bay Road and literacy is always been a problem.
I know that literacy is a problem, because I remember I was listening to one of the counselors who switched over there, and one of the problems that he had was that high school 18-year-old was just reading at grade 6 level. You understand what I am saying? So Westmoreland also have a literacy problem. I remember the young lady that died, I think she was 15 and she was working in a bar. Another challenge is that the parents in Westmoreland just sending children go cut down weed and them something there. So the Westmoreland is really a struggling parish, and it needs attention. It really needs some.
I want to ask, hold on, guys.
I agree because it's also a forgotten parish, just like Westmoreland, just like St. Thomas, It's a forgotten
Right.
Just like St. Thomas.
So, Prime Minister Holness may very well have to start in Westmoreland what he started in St. Thomas
Yes,
because I'm
yes.
sure Westmoreland not
Westmoreland need urgent attention.
It does. It
yes.
does. And he was a principal. He is a principal, and he was speaking from a place of no. So if these are the challenges, if you're gonna have children not in school that are gonna breed crime, that are gonna breed teenage pregnancy, that are gonna breed
Somebody who asked the
homelessness.
question, the person who asked the question, he said he would like to come in the box to explain. He's from Westmoreland.
I can borrow
Yes, hold on, guys. Let me
He's
ask.
from Westmoreland.
Give me, excuse me, Chavi.
Hold on, Angel. I really want to have the people who are from Westmoreland in the box so they can speak up
I
here.
would like to come in.
Okay. You understand me? So if Richard is from Westmoreland, I can come out.
Yeah, let me now Sheikah, listen, Sheikah. Hold on, guys. Chuck has stepped away from the live and asked me to host, and I can't host with everybody talking one time. Sheikah, you can help me because I'm still at work. So, Sheikah, you're doing a great job. Please continue. Guys, like she said, we like to have people from Westmoreland or people who have switched from PMP to Labour, right? Just people who have an input of what's happening in Westmoreland, because like I said clearly, Westmoreland is like forgotten St. Thomas. It's not developed. It doesn't have any infrastructure. It doesn't have no development. All these young people see and know is scamming. And scamming is so easy. You just have to go on YouTube, TikTok, and just go on social media and just follow a platform or follow a sheet or a role. And it's as easy as a cell phone and a laptop or a computer.
Yeah, Mato, I'm going to borrow your box as well because I noted Chef James. Hold on, Negro vibes. I noted Chef James. He has never voted before, and he's also from Westmoreland. So if we can get them in the box, if we can at least help to bring everybody together so we can get the votes out in Westmoreland, because trust me, we need the continuation of what's going on there. Chef James, welcome.
Yes. Guys, one thing about Westmoreland that I can point to. In the 1980s.
Go on, Richard. People, you have to mute while you're here if your background is noisy. Here, please. Hold on, Black King. Soon come to you. Richard, go ahead. You were saying something. Negril Vibes, let us hear from you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. I grew up in Beirut, and it's a place that's just dear to my heart. Well, let me tell you something. I know we're talking a little bit about politics and the party affiliation, but Westmoreland issues is bigger than party affiliation. And I was mentioning about Little London High School. Here's a high school that's surrounding so much property. Westmoreland have a highly unskilled population. All right. Most of our young people, if they're looking at a job after high school, they go to Negril and get some really small salary jobs. Little London High School, for me, need to be reimagined. It need to be restructured. We can't have all these kids with this bag of subjects and have nowhere to go with it. That school should be, if you look at it, there's not one solid agricultural school in that part of Westmoreland. My father, when I was a child, my father used to take the students from Little London High School, and my father had a huge garage as a child, and my father used to have them come to the garage and work in the garage and train those young people to become mechanics at that time when I was growing up. That type of thing gone. Trading industry, the trades have to be revitalized. Jamaica is importing skilled laborers now, while we have a whole bunch of the population unemployed. Unemployable.
We have to be frank when we're having this conversation, and I'm going to disagree with you that we cannot claim that we cannot blame political parties, because when
I
we
didn't
have,
say we can't blame political parties.
you say it was bigger. Okay, I stand
I didn't say we can't blame, but I say we cannot be led with blind eyes to because we have an affiliation to a party, because it's the parties that have helped to divide the people.
No,
Right?
and for Westmoreland has been voting 30 years for PNP. So anything that is
Definitely.
happening down there, I have to put the
So
blame
okay,
on them.
you think Westmoreland has been voted for 30 years PMP and have a commitment somehow to PMP. So you're telling me switching the party affiliation is going to switch Westmoreland problem?
But we have seen it. We have seen the little changes that are there. It is
Tell me the changes. Illiteracy rate in Westmoreland is still one of the highest in Jamaica.
Yeah, but you can't
Highest unemployment rate.
hold on, Nigel vibes. But you can't undo 30 years in 4 years.
No, you can't.
So that is where we are. Remember that JLP just actually won the down at Westmoreland, and look at the big changes that we're seeing down there. It is the first BPO.
You're speaking of. Tell me the changes.
It is the first BPO open down there. Am I lying?
And then you're telling me the BPO are the solid type of jobs that we're looking for?
But they have none. You better you have something than nothing.
Negro vibes.
Yes.
Negro vibes. All right.
You better you have something than nothing.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this question, Negro vibes.
Yeah.
The counselor that is in Negril over 25 years, right?
Yes.
And the former MP 4 consecutive term.
Yeah.
What is their legacy?
And this is what I'm saying to you. I not disagreeing with you that the PMP have failed Westmoreland horribly.
Richard, I'm going to borrow your box. The John is going to come up a little bit here.
I'm not disagreeing with you on any of that. But what I'm saying,
so in order to effect change, we have to do something different.
We cannot just rely on our party system to address the problem of Westmoreland. We have to look on issues as opposed to party.
But if one party had it, and they weren't doing anything, we have to switch over and say, hey, this is the one that's going to do it. We have already seen the changes that are being effected in Westmoreland. You may not see it on a greater scale. Hold on. You may not see it on the greater scale, but probably you want it to be on, but there are changes happening. Another problem that we need to look at, and we need to put these things into context. When there's a PNP municipality and then there's a JLP MP, that not working out, and we see it and hear it every single day here. You're not doing anything. The money for the market disappear in a 10 year, right? These are the things. The changes can happen. And just a while ago, we had an election.
I want to say something. Let me just chime in here, Rashika. So I agree with you, Negril Vibes, that the People's National Party has failed the people of Westmoreland badly, right? You have to understand also that politics in any country affects every single thing. The point that we're trying to make here is that the People's National Party has been elected, well, the people of Westmoreland elected the People's National Party, has been voting for the People's National Party for 35 years now, right? Nothing was done for the people in that parish for over 35 years. I hear you make a point that the BPO is not the kind of job that we want. And the part of me agree with you, yes. But understand also that the introduction of the BPO jobs in Westmoreland is part of a larger process to develop the economy of Westmoreland. And that incremental step was taken under Jamaica Labour Party MP, Moreland Wilson. Is it Moreland or George Wright?
George Wright.
So it is not the ideal job. It is not the ideal job, Negril Vibes. But it is better than nothing. It is better than what was there before, which was nothing.
There was nothing at all was there. Gomindo John. And then we have Chef James, because he never voted it, and we want to hear from him a little bit.
Let me just say, these persons, they will complain that there's no jobs, and then when there's jobs, they complain that it is not paying anything. I would rather something than nothing. See, I can speak to several things as a Westmorite, and Chavi can speak to certain things as well. I'm sure Negril Vibes would have seen all of the changes.
Yeah.
So we can name a few. We have a 50-bed infirmary built by Desmond Mackenzie under Andrew Warner's-led administration. For many millennia, many moon cycles, those desolate persons, those less fortunate persons was on the street under People's National Party government. See? We see the first of the 6 STEM school, one over Manning's right beside the auditorium. Savlamar Infant is now being upgraded and retrofitted. Persons or children with disabilities under this administration. See, we see the build out of the Belmont Academy since Andrew Holness become Prime Minister. That's another thing for Westmoreland. See, we have seen many road projects, small but many road patching, and it better than nothing. See, we are going to have the Spark program now. Right? We are going to have the water thing coming in from Chilani, coming down into St. James, coming down into Hanover, coming down into Westmoreland. And I am sure there are other little things. The municipality building as well. That money was granted by Bruce Golding to build that building right there in front of the Savlamar police station. We are getting another 3 police station in Westmoreland that Ian Hill say a prison. See? They don't want to build these things because they are affiliated with criminals, and the People's National Criminal Organization is there supporting and backing these criminals. And this is why Westmoreland is out of control, because of the leadership of the People's National Criminal Organization. And we must do all that we can, Westmoreland. We don't listen to my voice now. We must do all that we can to get them out of the municipality as well.
Mr. Dujan.
We can manage to get them out of the municipality and get them and get return we MP them. We can fully upgrade Westmoreland. It is time now. Time come now for the PNP then lift
I
up.
want to respond to Negril Vibes, please.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Guys, Negril Vibes, you said something just now that really, I'm wondering. While you were in the comment, you mentioned that these youngsters in Westmoreland are unemployable, right? You said that, right?
Yes, but within a context, you have to...
Hold on. They're unemployable within a context. Would that mean that they're not ready for engineering jobs? They aren't ready for the bank telling jobs or bank managementship jobs, right? They're not ready to work in the medical field. That's what you're saying, right?
You asking me a question? Sorry.
Yes, based on what you said, they're unemployable, and you said to a degree. So here's me reasoning out to a degree. They are not ready to be engineers, right? That's what you're basically saying. They're not ready to work at Nova Scotia, whether it be teller or management or supervisor. They're not ready for an accounting job. They are not ready for the medical field either. They're not nurses, they're not doctors. So if they're not ready for these fields, why is it that a BPO is not a good thing? Because
I can explain to you, because who works at the BPO, my friend?
The same unemployable people that I mentioned. Low skills.
You're twisting my premise. We have the young and some of the brightest young people we have who working at the BPOs, right? Listen, I'm not knocking BPOs. You know, I have a friend who owned one of the biggest BPO in Jamaica. I'm not knocking them, but what I'm saying to you, some of our young people in Westmoreland, is the education level that we're looking at is horrible.
I understand that.
Whether or not the PNP, listen, the PNP fail Westmoreland horribly. Fail them.
All right.
But what I'm saying to you, I do not necessarily, I'm going to say the other party want to try it, yes. But when we try another party, we should not just blindly support the party. I think we should establish as a people in Westmoreland grounds and hold them to the ground, hold them accountable, because at the end of the day, we know that politicians will say and do anything for them. So what I am arguing is that we have to, as people of Westmoreland, don't just say, you know what, the PNP failed, so we are going to jump on the other side of the road. No, even though we're going to jump on the other side of the road, we need to make it clear what is it that we stand for as a people of Westmoreland?
Me have to jump in here,
Westmoreland, the main artery to Montego Bay, you can hardly drive on.
Hold on, nigga, vibes. Me I go jump in here, so.
Yeah, man.
When we look at 35 years, a degradation,
Yes,
neglect,
yes.
see, as opposed to 4 years of something. It is not what we want it to be, but 4 years of something. I would rather take 4 years of something than 18 years of absolutely nothing, 35 years of absolutely nothing. And remember that Westmoreland had Wicker McNeil, Minister of State, Roger Clark, Minister of State, see? Carl Blight, Minister of State, and the very own Prime Minister. That is 4 members of the cabinet who ran Westmoreland. Westmoreland should have been a royal charter city or town. When you come in a Westmoreland, everything's supposed to speak or spang. See?
And I am not disagreeing with you, no, Mr. Doja.
We cannot come.
If I may respond to Negro vibes, if I may respond to Negro vibes, right? You said don't support the other party blindly. Make sure you hold your feet to the fire that something is there. Here's why I will support the party and why you should get on board too. Because like you stated, one of your major issues is the level of education. And now education is being made more accessible by this administration, by removing guarantor from Student Loan Bureau, making it easier to access student loan to gain the education which you are mentioning now. This administration has allotted $500 million per year to provide scholarships for people who would like to go into studies in the medical field. Another $650 million has been allotted also for scholarships for other study disciplines. This administration has freed up heart. As a matter of fact, you know what they did? They are paying people to go to heart to get a skill and not just pay them. They are giving you tools of trade when you get that skill and money to start up a business and going forward in the business world. You understand?
Yeah,
So this administration.
I'm not disagreeing with what the premise of most people in this group is arguing, you know, that the PNP have horribly failed Westmoreland. And I'm not disagreeing that we should make sure now it's time we look at the other party. That is not my argument, you know. But I'm saying to you, let's not also jump blindly. We need to make sure these things that Mr. Dujan eloquently explained, that, you know, we need to hold them to task and say, yes, this is going to happen. These educational institutions are developing. Make sure this happens. Westmoreland lack road development, for example. That is a concern because you cannot develop any society without having a decent roadway and a decent transportation system.
Just last week, Nigel Vibes, the government has allocated $2 billion to upgrade our
Hold on. Wait there 1 second. Allocating the money for roadway development is just the start. One of the problems that we have with allocation of money. No. If we have to start somewhere, but we need to create a good foundation for the start. We are allocating money to individuals who do not have any idea about road construction.
Oh no, sir.
I've seen it happen repeatedly. I don't know.
It has happened in the past. It has happened in the past, but right now I'm telling you, the mode of operation is not like the past, and that's why a lot of the things takes much longer to happen. So you'd have the money allocated, and then it takes longer for the actual starting of the work because the work has to go.
I am not disputing the fact that the money is not allocated enough.
And Negro Vibes, I want to say this to you. If you are one of the persons, mute your mic, Philip, and I think your background is a bit noisy.
Okay, sorry.
If you listen to the Prime Minister, you will often hear him say that we are no longer just building roads, they are doing the studies on the roads. He has said that repeatedly. They are building climate resilient roads.
Okay.
That's something let's
look at the road from Grangeville. Look at the road in Grangeville.
Hold on. He has often said we're building climate resilient roads, right? And because of that, they have to be doing comprehensive studies of the areas in which they're doing the major upgrades. And I am pretty sure I am pretty sure the millions and billions of dollars that will be spent in Negril or Westmoreland, they are doing those studies. I am pretty sure. Because one of the things that the Prime Minister has also recognized is that the towns and the cities that we have, they are no longer functionable. So we're going to have to do a lot of relocating and creating new townships. So if you listen to what he says when he's speaking, you will pick sense out of nonsense. Because him not just say, okay, we're going to invest in this township anymore. He said, no, this is no longer conducive.
And Negril Vibes knows this, because even in Savlamar, if you come in a Savlamar certain time in the morning, you cannot move. It's stagnant. Certain time in the evening, you cannot move. We need a bypass.
And that is why they're making these new towns now, like the urban centers in every parish. You said they're going to have one in Hanover as well?
He said that the Prime Minister is even saying part of Negril is basically in Hanover, so they're doing a whole restructuring of the parishes. There's going to be one in Hanover, I think Trelawney as well. New township are coming. Right?
And that is needed, Lashika. It is needed because the capital cities,
so it can't be done quickly.
The capital cities are built on colonial settings, right?
Yes.
So they've outlived their usefulness. The townships over the years have expanded in size and population.
Yes.
So there's urgent need to rebuild or redesign the towns, and the best way to do that is to widen. It's to construction. It's a road.
Relocate them. It's to relocate them, because one of the things is that we have now rising sea levels, right? And then when you look, the whole town is flooded when we have rain, because the towns are built so close to the beaches or the seas. So when we have rain, the whole place flood out. Nothing can move. The whole place stagnant. So in order for you to have modern society to match the population and to match everything else that is going on, you have to build new cities, basically.
So use St. Thomas as an example with the...
I read something for Negril Vibes when they
He's
come.
on pause.
I'm here.
Okay, so you notice, so Westmoreland can be transformed like how they're transforming St. Thomas. So remember that St. Thomas, I don't know if Negril Vibe know that St. Thomas is getting a whole new town with the
Yes, I do.
center.
I do know.
He knows that.
Highway. So just like how you're seeing that, and St. Thomas was known as a forgotten parish between 1989 when the PNP took over to 2020, right? And now St. Thomas get all of these things. It's the same thing the Prime Minister want to do in each parish.
And I am not disputing
Portland.
And
they're getting an urban center.
I think 1 second, my dear. I think you guys need to hear me now. All I'm saying, I agree with the Prime Minister's vision. I support it. But one of the things that I want to see, if you look at the St. Thomas issue, the people of St. Thomas help push that agenda. The people of St. Thomas, they rise up against the poor infrastructure. And I'm telling you, what I'm saying to you, in that Westmoreland in itself, the town of Savlamar, it need, for example, we have to stand up and say a town need to expand outside of Great George's Street. And it is happening with
listen the tone. Then the politics and politics.
It is happening.
Philippians, hold on. But Dujan read and then we hear from Chef James. I really want to hear from Chef James because he never voted yet, and we'd love if we could get him to vote. So Dujan read and then Chef, open your mic and come in.
Before I read that, let me just say this to Negril Vibes. Negril Vibes,
yeah, my brother.
The town of Savlamar is expanding, but on a slope. If you notice, up by the Landala main road, you see a lot of businesses are coming up now, and they are moving towards Liquorland, and there are some in George's Plain moving that direction. Would like to see some going towards Petersfield direction and towards Smithfield as well. Right? There is a road called Wharf Road. You know that road?
Yeah, I know it.
If the sea kind of take off during Hurricane Ivan, the sea did kind of broke off piece of the road. Right?
Yeah.
So if we can get back that road, Chavi, see, that can alleviate a lot of the traffic going towards Dunbar's River, and then those persons can divert through Russia and go straight downtown. That would help with a lot of the traffic.
Right. If you got you there.
Yeah, so let me just read this. And this is a road update under the Spark program. See? Some $2 billion were allocated for the parish of Westmoreland for road repairs. Road targeted in Westmoreland Western, Tollgate to Grangehill, Barham to Bat Mountain, Grangehill to Glasgow, Negril roundabout to Parish Border, Grangehill to Little London, Negril roundabout to Big Bridge. So for Negril roundabout to Big Bridge, that is pretty much all of Negril Road, correct?
Yeah.
After 2 successful consultations hosted by the CDF team, the National Works Agency has indicated that the procurement process has started for parochial roads under the Phase 1. And it says roads selected are as follows: Friendship, Wild Pine, Townhead, Blackness, Grangehill, Geneva, Ghetto, Crowder, Little London, Shantytown, Paul Island, Camp Savannah Mountain, Sheffield, Revival, Negril, and Villa Lagage. So that is pretty much most of Western Westmoreland. That is pretty much most of it that go get upgraded under the Spark program. See? I will not get into George Wright Road them yet. I will not get into Danny Lawrence Road them yet. And George Wright has been rehabilitating a lot of roads. You know, and Danny Lawrence has been doing what he can do up in Eastern as well. And by the way, there should be nothing in Eastern to be done. Eastern should be a complete constituency, because that was the constituency of the Prime Minister for 18 consecutive years.
All right. I want to say this before we move to Chef James to Negril Vibes. Negril Vibes, I understand your point, and I know you're advocating for accountability and the citizens of the constituency, the citizens of the constituency holding the MP accountable, which is fine, and I don't think any reasonable person would disagree with that. But at the same time, you also have to acknowledge, Negril Vibes, that the politics in Westmoreland as a parish needs to change, because the MP that you have, the MP of the day, affects the whole economy of the constituency. So the
definitely, I'm not disputing that 1 inch, my brother.
So I get your point, you know. Accountability, sure. The citizens need to be a part of the process, sure. But the
citizens need to be accountable too. They can be accountable to the government.
Yes, Lashika.
They are the ones who hold themselves back. They are the ones. Yeah.
So we can from Chef.
Let's hear from Chef. Hold on, HR.
Yeah.
Chef James. Let me unmute his mic. Maybe you don't know how to.
Yeah, his mic is muted. And you know, Guru, while we wait on Chef James, I am not disputing the whole idea that the leadership of the parties is critical in development, right? Leadership, the head fish rot from the head, as we know. But what I am saying, we allow the people of Westmoreland have allowed the PMP government to destroy the parish. No, nothing under them. And I'm saying, Chef James is there. I'll pause and let him speak.
Yes, he's there. He's there.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. It's a pleasure to join a conversation, and just want to give my little piece that I've been living in Westmoreland for years. That's where I grew up as a youngster. You know, and I'm very disappointed at the way things have been over the years. PMP have been the strongest hold for over years, and yet we still have the worst road. I heard somebody said we don't even have a training center in Savlamar, which is factual. Our young people need something more than just the BO system or the hotel industry. Until when things reach Westmoreland as what happened to the hotel recently, I think that's when somebody will really look at Westmoreland. If you look over the years, as I said, PNP have always won, and we need to find the reason why.
Because people like you don't vote.
Me.
People like you no vote. You stay away. You stay away from the process, but you need to participate in the process. Your vote makes a difference.
We need to see more done for the parish.
Yeah, but if you don't vote, Chef James, you're not going to see nothing.
The parish have been locked for a while now. Nobody really look at that parish.
You know who make the decision for you down there? The people with 6th grade education.
You see, and you know what? I don't dispute you, my sister, because listen to this. If we look at the electoral turnout, the voting in Westmoreland, it's really a small percentage of the population that decide the leadership now. Because the people are not voting.
Jamaican people think that Jamaican people on a whole think that they are better than voting and participating in the political process, right? I think and they allow people with 6th grade education down at Westmoreland because of that the man company life, the principal company life come say.
Listen,
think him say, but I remember the place name. So them not have no education. 18-year-old only can read at grade 6 level. And them decide who run the place. And them decide to have straight board house down there. We don't just lift up the house and take it up. And them decide say Cigar Street to stay dirty. And them decide say the town not for go on down there. We don't need to come together as a people and say this now work out.
And this is what I'm saying to you, the people, yes, the people need to vote, because if you don't vote, you don't have a voice, right? And I agree with that principle. But in my original argument I was making to HR earlier, that we cannot, and Travis, we cannot allow the politicians carte blanche just to rule without some form of accountability. I look at the road in Grangeville going towards Glasgow. When we look at that road, the other day I'm down there and seeing the hole is about 2 feet deep. And the man who is fixing the road, he just basically grade it and throw some mall on the road. And within the next rainfall, we're right back 2 feet in the ground.
And this is what we're talking about, Negril vibes. The same people them want to do nothing for down there. Want to vote them back in down there.
And that erodes accountability, which he's talking about.
If
you keep putting somebody who's a non-performer for 4 consecutive terms, right? That's 16 years of nothing.
Yeah. And we can't.
The other day I saw a man.
I passed Mr. Moreland on the road one day when they were grading that hole. And I stopped and I said to them, sir, this man here, the guy who is driving the backhoe and doing this, I know him, and I said to him, come on, man, this is a foolishness. This hole is here for years upon years, and we're still doing the same thing. And this was just last summer. This happened. And I'm saying, with the people of Grangeville going towards Glasgow, need a better road. It's horrible. And them put the mall back in the water. And I stood there and watched them do it. And I said, this is nonsense.
And that is why we don't give Jamaican contractors no work.
And thank you, HR.
Work and they complain.
And this is why I say we cannot have people building who don't have the education to do it.
Negative vibes. What you didn't want to see is them for Barbara Greeny and make it thingy, but the Prime Minister have been saying
No, that's not what I wanted them to see. That part of the road, you cannot, anywhere you go in the world, they put in drainage and curbs before the road.
Then listen.
Yes, that's what's needed.
What we have said here is that is needed, but the Prime Minister have said, right, Don't you want to see the road properly paved and barber green and properly done?
Yes, I want to see the road paved and properly done. What I'm saying, the Prime Minister have a good vision, Mr. Dujan. Hear me now? The Prime Minister have a good vision, but we have to make the vision be able to land on the people them
in the right hands.
World. So the vision is one thing, but the execution and the accountability of these infrastructure must be in place. Not because me own the tractor means that me should have get the good work.
And you remember Negril vibes that this was a problem, right? And
it still is.
Hold on. Let me just say this. I heard an MP saying it the other day that for some reason Jamaican people don't think that the money from the government are their tax money. So they will squander it. They will take the work and them not do it good. And say, a government money and I know say them have to pay for it.
All right.
Somebody said a MP. Hold on. Let me just make this point and then you can jump back in. An MP said something to me the other day. An MP told me that somebody is mad at them. Right? A business person is mad at them because them never raise the bill and them take a thing and the MP take a thing. You hear me say? The MP say, I say to them, say, no, a taxpayer money, me can't do that. This is how Jamaican people look at things. So that man who have fixed the road, who have mauled the road and do it properly and just done. I agree with you wholeheartedly. For some reason, Jamaicans just think say the taxpayer, the government money, and not for them money. And them can see it and
this is why, my dear, and this is why I'm saying to you and everybody else, yes, I am going to support the JLP. Yes, I will support them, but my support is not blind. If the Prime Minister, they allocate $100 million to fix the road, that allocation of money should not be allowed to subcontract 2 and 3 times. Because when they do the feasibility study, when they do the feasibility study, they say, say to fix the Greenville roadway, it's going to cost about 50 million. But then me get the road and I say, what, 50 million? Me go subcontract it for 30. Then the subcontractor subcontract it for 20. By the time the 20 million we spend, the road
fast doing Mr. Negril vibes, because you see this procurement process will go on now. None of them subcontract thing that can go on. As a matter of fact, see what the Prime Minister is doing now in doing the consultation. In my opinion, still, I believe that the Prime Minister should have just called in China Harbour and give them all of the work.
No. Every single piece of work through Spark program is going to international tender. Not just up to local contractor. If you notice, it's a different thing. Well, you notice the part of the road where in St. Thomas, that when the burial come and the sea came and it's not exactly the road, but some of the infrastructure around it, some of the building. You see what happened? And some of the road in St. Thomas that mash up because heavy vehicle drive on it and you know what happened? Then call back on the contractor because just get the work, present something and gone. You are tied to it. Guarantees is being added to the contract. When you do this work, we're supposed to be guaranteed 10 years of life for this part of work where you do. You just do it and you mash up next week and you're gone. It's a different thing. That's the process now.
Jamaican people believe that Andrew Holness can click his finger and Jamaica fix overnight. And that's our biggest problem. And we have sat idly for many years while the PNP completely degrade, obliterate the country, our resources. See?
Thank you.
And they have collected 17 years of tax. Billions of Jamaican dollars in tax the PNP have collected. What have they done for the Jamaican people? Somebody point and show me.
I mean, I've always wondered, Dujan, since I was a youth, Jamaica's biggest source of income is tourism, right? Yes. Westmoreland is one of the places in Jamaica that generate the revenue for Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And to me, that revenue has never gone back to the people of Westmoreland. You understand? So to me, that is an issue for me. Mr. Bartlett is a Westmorelandite. And
Mr. Legal Vibes, hold on there. You have to repeat that part again. You have to say that again. Because I've been saying this and it come like it now go to people's head. So I'm glad somebody else has said. Say that again for them.
What I'm saying, right, my brother? Westmoreland is one of Jamaica's biggest revenue gainer. And nobody can ever show me how that revenue that Westmoreland has generated have gone back to the people of Westmoreland. Right? What we see now is the tourist industry in Westmoreland. And you know, as much as I am going to support a party change, check this out. Mr. Bartlett have some serious question for answer to. We shouldn't just carte blanche and say, yeah man, I'm a JLP, so we are going to support him. Him need to answer some question about tourism in Westmoreland. We look at, for example, there's a little thing going on down in Westmoreland with the tourists, with the hotels, you know. They claim they go ahead and employ these young people on so-called training. And have these people work in the hotel for, I think, about 6-week periods. And they're not paid on a training program. And when many of them finish the training and perform free labor, they're not being compensated for their labor by these major hotel industry. So they will then turn around and employ, say, 30% of the people that was trained. So the other 70% work for free over a 6 weeks period. And this is unfair and exploiting.
No, but that happens everywhere though.
No. You cannot, anywhere in the world, you cannot train people and train them for such long period of time without a compensation package.
Listen, no, I disagree with that because when
go ahead.
$6,000.
They can't even pay bus fare.
I do social.
For those training programs, compensation is involved, but not at a large degree.
Yeah. And they support that, and they get
them lunch and bus fare.
They get $6,000 fortnightly.
Yeah, but you train. But when I remember I do unpaid internship as well. I do that on a social work me study, right?
That is different. You're talking about a practicum placement as opposed to.
But no practicum. Me go sit down and
I would not look at that as a practicum, ma'am.
Yeah. All right, a practicum. When me I do it,
Why did they go there? Why they went there? It wasn't practicum.
It was a practicum when you're doing social work or education.
No, I'm talking about like in the hotel industry. Is it, are trainee foods they're doing?
All of the major hotels in Negril have about 10 different buses. They are numbered. They can see them go up and down Negril daily.
Yeah,
we bring staff.
When they bring the staff to a certain point. Yeah.
So there's a lot of those training staff.
What I'm saying to you, the hotel industry is set up differently from whether or not we were doing a post-secondary tertiary education practicum training. It's not the same for the people who are going into the hospitality field. I think the hotel industry can do better. Because we have to remember,
I agree that they need to do better.
95% of these hotel industry, major hotels in Negril are not owned by Jamaicans. Right? And we are giving these people an opportunity to continue to exploit us under these old colonial practice and call it apprenticeship. A free labor, them just use the word and twist it up, and poor people can't afford. We want the young people at Westmoreland to go to work, yes, but at least make it worth their while.
Okay, so
I agree with you, but
while we do agree with you, Nigel, but I say this to you, we have a listening government, and our ministers, including the Prime Minister, probably watches our platform. So I want you to lay out a few suggestions.
Bolande Dujan, the minister went down there, you know. The minister.
Yes, he was there today having lunch in the canteen.
Yes, Philippian. We know that. But we want Negril vibes. We suggest a better way forward. So we government
and the Labour minister
what you're talking
also
about.
went down there.
Yes, the minister went down there today on a photo op. But I am tired of people playing games with the Westmoreland.
And I disagree with the photo op part of it. I disagree with that.
No,
We'll get into that after.
Negro vibes, hold on. Negro vibes, hold on. So they had two meetings, right? One was it yesterday or the day before, and we would have heard results from that meeting. Being more is being added, more is being added to their gratuity share, and more is being added to their salary. And going forward, they will be raising the salary. So we have seen progress there. Now the Labour Minister and the Tourism Minister go back again to have further discussions. It cannot be a photo op if from the first meeting we're already getting results. It can't be a photo op.
Let me respond to that then, Travis. Let me respond to that. The fact that the Labour Minister and the Tourist Minister had to go down to deal with these hotels themselves. Yes, it's a good thing that they dealt with it. However, systems need to be put in place that these multinational companies don't continue to exploit the people.
No, you're wrong for that. You know why I said that? Once they're not paying the citizens of Jamaica under minimum wage, they're not actually breaking any law. Yes, we can say we need better paying jobs for them, but they're not. We have a standard in which we set. And from what I know with dealing with salaries in hotels, one of my biggest problem is contracts, not salaries. Contracts is my biggest problem. I don't know what.
When you say contract, what do you mean?
When they give the people them the 3 months contract and such like, right? It is you cannot come and tell the people them the standard is you cannot pay them under $15,000. They get gratuity, they get tip and other things. So me disagree. Say me not agree with that one day. It is a free market.
It's a free market, but that's why you have government in place to kind of control free market economy.
And we have to
call it economics. Economics have something called the invisible hand.
We also, as people, you know what our problem is in Jamaica as well. We don't know our rights. We don't know where to go when we are abused. So we are a lot of us often say, "Me not go to Ministry of Labour because nothing I'm going there. Me not go to hospital because I go dead up there." And enough of us has never used these services. So this is the problem. This could have probably been dealt with in a different way if somebody had gone to the Ministry of Labour and say, "Hey, this is what is happening there." Or a few of them and say, "Hey, me think this is happening and we need to step in." But a lot of us, we don't know our rights in Jamaica, and oftentimes we just say, "Cho, the system don't work for me."
Do you think the conditions were there for a low-level employee
what they need to do is start a union?
That's what I am coming back to you now, Travis, to say. If the structure is in place that an employee can go and report the owner of a multi-million-dollar industry, they would say,
that system exists, Negril, as somebody within HR. It exists.
Listen, the system exists, but the culture and the condition for them to complain may be so intimidating, the people afraid to lose them.
No, I don't want to use the word
that's not true. That mindset is coming from ignorance.
Negril, I must say though, the people succumbing to intimidation is really not the fault of the government. The government has no responsibility in any individual, given into intimidation by any multi-million-dollar organization. The fact is you have a right? And if your right is being infringed upon, go through the channels, jump all the hurdles you need to jump.
Let me say this too. Dushan, when you come back, you can probably ask a question if you would allow me or you want to go ahead.
Go ahead, Shika.
You know what I want to say to a lot of people. You see, when time you're going to a job, do not sit there and become complacent with your 5 subjects. Go and upgrade yourself.
Yes.
Go and get yourself certified. Go do two courses until you're done the degree or until you finish the associate degree. Do not sit there and say, oh, me I get $30,000 and when me can work up to $50,000 tip. Go and say, all right, me can work. If me go upgrade myself, me can start get $50,000 and that a 50 more thousand on the tip. Come on, we stop subjecting yourself to the you know why we have low paying. You know why we have low paying jobs in Jamaica? Because we have low skill. Some of we don't have no skill and some of we don't have no education.
Sheikah, I must agree with you. The people don't try to further education because we have what is called a eat a food mentality.
Complacency.
That's why we are eat a food. We just eat a food. We not think about upgrade. We not think about tomorrow or next year. We just eat your food mentality they run with.
Mr. Negril vibes, like I said before, you know, all kind of minister pass through for life them. We are going to go as far as to say, even the Prime Minister, we have a listening government for the first time in Jamaica. Right? So here you are now, center stage. What are some of the suggestions you have to make Westmoreland a better place? Anything that you can suggest that the government do that they are not doing now? For example, you mentioned the BPO, you mentioned persons going to hotels and not being paid. What are the alternatives?
The alternative, I think there's a number of things from me that I would like to see, especially in Westmoreland. When we just look at just general services, right? Like one, the tax office, right? It needs to become a more professional service for the people of Westmoreland. In other words, maybe it's time we build a tax office in Negril. The population is growing. And the one place in South, the other one in North Darlistan had burnt down, and it hasn't been replaced.
I believe that has been replaced now, you know.
Well, maybe no. I'm not sure if it has, but I know the services at the one in South is horrible. I would love to see a better infrastructure.
Sure, serving the people. Post officer, I want tax officer come and Negril. I certainly hear that.
Hello, guys. I'm from.
Hold on, Churchill. Hold on. Make him talk. Make him finish him point. That's it.
No. I'll let somebody else say something.
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Right. So I want to go back to the point that Negril Vibes raised earlier, because as someone who is in HR, it's something that I don't want to gloss over, because that kind of perspective is held by a lot of Jamaicans. A man, you know, if you have no big education, if you are being exploited at your job, the small man can walk into a labor ministry office and speak to a conciliation officer, right? So the system is not intimidating. You are intimidated by it for whatever reason, I don't know. But the system exists for persons to get redress if they are in fact being exploited. Now, as it relates to the Royalton situation, Edmund Bartlett and Pernell Charles could not stay in Kingston in them office or wherever and know about it without somebody raising an alarm. So it was good when the staff at Royalton strike. When they did, and as a result of their striking, it attracted the attention of the tourism minister and the labor minister.
I agreed with that.
The situation is now rectified. So we need to stop suffering, tying ourselves to that perspective to say that, oh, the system not going to do nothing here. That is a lie. I'll give you another example. The Bank of Jamaica, this is an IDT case. The Bank of Jamaica had to pay a small man $50.2 million because of wrongful termination. So you have to give credit where credit is due. You can't just look on the system and say, oh, the system don't work, and the system is for the small man, when it is not true. I just want to address that point, because that's a perspective that is several Jamaica.
I can tell you that the system works because my father sued the government of Jamaica $1 million as well.
There you go.
You know, so the system is working.
So
it is long, but it works.
So guys, I'm from Eastern Westmoreland. That's where I originate from. And as you were discussing earlier, Westmoreland needs, in my view, a special attention. And you guys have covered a lot of the things that are wrong, so I'm gonna have to go over them. But it really needs special attention.
Any word on the post, if the tax office up there, is it back open?
Which one?
In Darlistan.
I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it for Westmoreland. As far as the tourism industry as a class by itself, because every once in a while, even though they did something with the Royalton situation, every once in a while they're gonna have these situations, right? And I think HR, you and I were talking about this the other day, that I don't know if it is you, that they should get unions to represent them.
Yes, I agree. The staff at Royalton should consider joining a union.
How many of these hotel workers are unionized? I don't know the answer to that. But as an industry itself, that's where I think maybe something could come into play right there. Have the workers unionized, and so they can get better representation. Because, as you say, people are intimidated when they have to go and deal with a big ministry, even though they have their rights. A lot of people are not going to take it up on their own to do that, So Jamaica has a lot of skin in the game. Tourism is probably the number one earner right now. So
I'll add this. Jamaica and the Caribbean, extension, has some of the best and most protective labor laws in the region, even better than United States, because in the US, your employer can fire you at will. They have something at will employment and at will firing. They can fire you at will. You turn up to work this morning, and your boss said, don't come back tomorrow. In Jamaica, that happen.
Me there England, right? And if me take sick tomorrow, right? And me decide to go work Saturday, I don't get paid for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's Tuesday before me start get paid again. And my sick leave only cover me for 7 days. I can't get 2 weeks off or whatever, 7 days. See? I'm gonna get paid for 3 out of them 7 days. So think about that.
So the
Jamaica,
point,
you can send in a sick leave and you start get paid for the first day. So Jamaica labor laws, they're very good.
So the point I was making is that, Jamaica have a lot of skin in the game, and maybe there's something they can do, I don't know, as an industry to make the thing more fair to somebody, to the workers on a whole. The point about having recruits coming and train for 6 weeks, to me, it sounds like some exploitation is going on there. If you're going to hire some people for training, the training should be that you're going to get the job. It shouldn't be you take 60 people and you weed out half of them and take half of them.
But the government itself used to do it, Churchill. I don't remember what the program name what the government used to do, and they never used to pay a full salary.
That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right.
But you can, all right. So if we're going to, I don't agree with it. I really don't agree with paying people the full salary on training.
I didn't say pay full salary. That's not where I'm coming from.
But they do get some compensation. They do get some compensation. I remember
about the money.
I remember the argument was I think I don't remember which hotel it was, but I remember that them said them provide them with lunch, them provide them I think with the uniform that they needed and a small compensation for the training. I think I remember that. I remember it was in the news. No, it was a letter. It was real hotel.
I'm not gonna leave with training where they can use another hotel as well.
It was real hotel. A young lady sent it in on one of those blog sites, right? Where they tell her, say, hey, we'll provide you with lunch and a small compensation for your training for the 6 weeks, and she was livid that they're paying her a compensation and she not this and she not that and whatever. And I think that it was fair, right? It's a part of your to complete your course that you need to do a 6-week training. It's not that you're fully employed, and sometimes these training are like for 2 days. So you can't tell me, say me to pay you $15,000 for 2 days when me pay my staff full amount of money.
I want to add a component to this particular topic. You see, this type of training is usually for people who are unskilled and don't have like a heart certificate or anything. You just come in blank. You understand me? If you already have a heart certification and then something, you don't go through this process. You understand me? But in the end, you will get a stipend and all that is mentioned. In the end, you get a certificate now that you were trained by this particular organization. So we have to take that into consideration. I'm with giving them a part of the salary and not the full salary, because you come in with no knowledge and they're instilling in you the knowledge with regards to this position. You could have taken the option to go to heart, but you didn't. So as such, the case is this: they train you, you get on-the-job training, and you get a lesser pay while doing it.
And
in my opinion, it's fair.
And I want people to go. We have to familiarize ourselves with what protects us, and if the union laws that we have, the labor laws, not union, but the labor laws that we have that will protect us, we need to familiarize ourselves with them. We can't just sit down for every day and say, nothing now go on, this not happen for me. That no, don't do it. We have to become a better informed nation. We need it. We need it for ourselves.
They will start from the school.
But you know what else I'd say, Lashika? Because so for some persons, Jamaica generally is not a reading people. We're not a reading people. And if you want to know what your rights are on, especially when it comes down to labor rights, sit down and speak to a professional. Get the advice from a professional, because I'm sure there are so many HR persons out there that are willing to sit down with you and tell you what your rights are on the law. So if you don't want to go read the long legislation, fine, but speak to somebody who a professional who can advise you.
And one thing that I can recommend, one thing that I can recommend, I use ChatGPT. I have the app on my phone. Sometimes I just type in whatever I'm looking for, and it is so precise, and it gives you all the details. It is so accurate. You just type in exactly what you want, and it will tell you exactly what it is. Life is so advanced nowadays, people. Technology is at your fingertip. Don't just use your phone just because it's a phone. I think it was, I don't remember who said it to me. Maybe my father or somebody said it to me, that it's people make these phones and you cannot make the phone be smarter than you, right? So utilize the phone for the right reason. Very good night.
But anyway, yeah, man, Westmoreland is a special case as I see it right now, and the powers that be, I think they have to pay more attention. I know Andrew is doing a great job.
But I don't know, I see another.
I know the Prime Minister is
why them compete.
You know, the Prime Minister is really, and this is what I like about the Prime Minister. He's really serious about his job. Yeah. And you can see the passion that he wants to make Jamaica a better place. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But he cannot do everything at one time, you know. So
and I think we have to get, we have to get
our political game in order, because as you guys have said, the PMP control the Western Jamaica for all these years. And we cannot expect a man to come in for one term and have everything fixed. We have to give them time, you know?
One thing we can't tell them about
Western side suffer from a high literacy rate. And that is part of the problem, why they cannot make proper representation.
Come in. Churchill, that's exactly my point I started out with, you know. Sorry, Mr. Dujan. That's the point I started out with. We have to address that literacy rate and that early education in Jamaica. And we know if the children leave
what
elementary school.
percentage of Jamaica is literate, Mr. Negro Vibes? Can you
I
give me
don't know it offhand. I don't know it offhand.
21% of Jamaica is not literate, which is a big percentage, to be honest.
It's bigger than that in Westmoreland, trust me.
Yeah, sir. I mean, you don't have to tell me about Westmoreland. That's where me come from.
All right.
So,
are you related to Dujan Construction, my youth?
No. Me a part of the Daz clan. You know Daz them?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I'm part of the Daz clan.
Okay. No, and I agree with Churchill, where the literacy rate, it compounds ignorance, you understand? And to me, whichever party come into power, we have to address literacy rate. And when we look at Granger, there's a school in Granger, I won't call the name. And when I look, this school does not even have a proper internet facility there.
What is that? Mountain Grace?
No, I don't want to call it in because I don't want to highlight the school. I understand.
Highlight the persons might thought they were listening and send 1 2 computer or give them
They have the computer. They will have the tablets, but what I'm saying, the internet service to the school is very poor. Okay. Right? So the teachers are operating with minimal access to technology.
Well, you should mention the name. Mention the name.
Lazy. May we hear from Berry Dan. Berry, good night. What's up? Berry look like him not even know him in at the box.
Berry. Let me say something pantily about Westmoreland. We have some people in Westmoreland, and I don't know if this is because of literacy or not. I'm very gravelicious, them craven, them will sell your mama and sell for them mama too. See? Because all they want is something to grace them palm. They do not care about the future of you and I. They do not even care about the future of their children. And this includes family members of mine. See? All they care about is having something in their pockets, and that is it. And we, the younger ones, must fight tooth and nail to keep this government, because I guarantee you, if Andrew want to spend another 5 years in our government, Jamaica will be developed. We see it.
True.
See? And I like people who come and talk and we don't see nothing. Andrew want to talk and then we see it happen. So we must keep him there.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Dujan, can I say something to you and the rest? I must say to you, I don't really engage in political conversation on any social media, but this was very refreshing to see the level of decency and respect each and every one of you had for difference of opinion.
What Negro vibes? Negro vibes. Only Labour Live, you come and hear the conversation, Only Labour Live.
No, I don't really engage in it, and I used to be on TikTok like a year ago, and I left it because I didn't want that energy, right?
But he's telling you that only them place here you can come and get them constructive arguments here, conversations.
Exactly.
No,
it's constructive. They cuss us out when we go on the other live.
Yeah, I'm not in that.
But we appreciate you for coming. We don't know if we can form a Negril coalition and we come together. I'm not from Negril, I'm from Montego Bay. I'm from the beautiful Montego Bay, the city girls.
Oh, please.
Bad mind me.
Yes.
Don't bad mind me from Montego Bay. We make the right decisions in Montego Bay. We vote Labour. We believe in Labour. And Labour build up Montego Bay. So we don't know if we can form a little coalition.
Let's see if we can solve the traffic problem downtown Montego Bay.
Listen to me, man. Don't tell everybody
the perimeter road is on the way, Negril vibes, you know, see? The perimeter road is, come on, man.
Listen to me now. You see, oh, my bad mind me. Yes, I'm a bad man. The ball let us see, and him not see me road I done next year. Big up my prime minister. Big up my prime minister with the 28 bank account, as Rally G said.
You can't bother with them,
You know, but
even they have a plan for Draxal and the road leading up to Ochi.
Yeah, man.
When that ready appear traffic, there's a lot of road plans, right?
Yeah, the tax officer. Let's see if we can get the tax officer Negril.
Yeah, man, I think it's coming because they're doing a lot of tax office because that is one of the things that Nigel said that.
It's so interesting that they brought up tax office because they're in the business now to make more tax offices. They've been making building more tax offices.
Yeah, because they recognize that they're not fit for purpose anymore.
Hold on, Dujan saying something.
The way how we government ambitious, Negril vibes.
Yeah.
We just signed an MOU for small nuclear reactors. This is how ambitious this government is. Right? So tax office and all of them things, everything, believe me. Because you see it and you know say it did the government see it before you. And them if we not continue to be productive, it's not gonna happen though. We have to continue.
It wasn't the last budget cycle, you know, it was the one before where they mentioned that the tax offices were no longer fit for the purpose, like they were built to.
And they are building them island wide, you know. They are building new ones. Yeah.
I think the one in Christiana, you know, is going to be open soon, you know.
You know why I'm confident that the tax office situation will be addressed. If you notice, this government was able to bring in more tax revenue without adding new taxes on the back of the Jamaican people, and that was aided by being able to collect more taxes by making it easier. You can pay taxes online. They have revamped the mode of operation in a lot of the tax offices. Still, people are not pleased, but part of making sure that it is easier for you to pay your taxes will that is a means of raising tax collection. The new tax offices are coming.
Let me give you another concern I have about Negril and the entire Namprel Road, right? So if you leave the Texaco gas station and you're going back towards Sav, there's a Negril. One of my concerns is the amount of abandoned properties in Negril, even on the beach itself. I see my wife and I walking up the beach.
Mr. Negril vibes. You know, see them are clear one side of the road, them are build plazas and stuff. So
yeah, but I'm saying Negril, if you look at Namprel Road, right?
Yes.
I was 2 summers ago, I down there and see illegal wires, right?
Yes.
Catch 2 buildings afire, you know.
Well, I was down there in July. I make it tell you on that stretch.
Yes, right there.
You know, and that